Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in trippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. So the feastin' on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in
Welcome to Bengals and Brews.
What's up,
I am
Bengals?
Dale Altman, joined by co-host, the Big Savage Greg Luther, joined by Bengals and Bourbon, Matt Schultz, Project Game Day leader, the man, Matt Schultz, and the CEO himself, Dustin Croft. What is up, fellas?
They gotta play us.
Ooh, that was a fun one.
Well, not necessarily, because there's still a good chance we don't make the playoffs, Greg.
Yeah.
But
Hey, I'll still say it.
yeah. And it was an ugly game, but I will take an ugly win over a pretty loss 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
100%.
Did you? I feel like somebody put it out that the like an AFC North like primetime road game is like the record was horrendous in those situations. So for us to go in there and fight and get a W, that's pretty sick, you know.
Hey,
They're discounting Joe Burrow in December, man. In January.
Greg, positivity here for my daughter's girlfriend, Olivia. She says we will make the playoffs.
Yo, there you go. I'm
Let's
liking
go.
that, Olivia. I'm liking that.
And yes, it was, Cam. It was a very good game tonight, brother.
That's AFC North football right there. 100%.
Yeah, it was.
Russell Wilson fits well in Steelers-style football. Ugly, good defense, great kicker. But he doesn't do shit as a quarterback, which has kind of been their MO lately.
Yeah, he's the Trent Dill for the Steelers.
Yeah.
You know what happens with him when it's not a quick release or just like a deep ball? He drops his eyes fast, and he like runs and like he just 1, 2, 3 pats ball, doesn't see anybody, and he just drops his head. You know, he stinks.
Yeah, he really is not good. And I don't know what they're going to do because they haven't played Fields now, and I think he could be a free agent.
Well,
Russ could be a free
I
agent.
was shocked that Fields was not in the game at all.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know who gets the game ball for me is Pickens, man. I tell you what, man. He couldn't catch anything that was thrown right to him. And there was he had one catch that could have easily sealed the game for them. And he just – I mean, thank you, Pickens, is all I'm going to say.
All right, first game ball of the night. First game ball of the night goes to you, George Pickens. The Bengals are giving you a game ball for your performance tonight.
Absolutely.
I'll give you the second game ball. Second game ball is your Defensive Player of the Year, Trey Hendrickson.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He should get that award, right? Because that's something we don't talk
Absolutely.
about enough on here. What did he end up with? 16 and a half, 17? What was it?
He's got a 3.5 sack lead.
Yeah.
And three big sacks tonight in big moments.
And mind you,
the
the next sack leader closest to him that hasn't played is 5.5 sacks behind him.
17 and a half. I apologize. Thank you, Brew Crew is always coming through. 17 and a half he ended up with.
Was it 17 and a half? Wow.
Yeah, I think he had
closest guy that hasn't
14 and a
played
half
has-
coming in, right? 14 and a half,
Yeah.
3 more tonight. Yeah.
And the
I
next
think-
closest guy is Daniel Hunter on the Texans. He's only got 12. So Trey's going to get the sack.
Yeah, he was tied with Garrett coming into today. Garrett's already played. He didn't get any more, so he ends at 14 and a half.
Van
right?
Noy already played. He's done with the Ravens. And the next one's Daniel Hunter at 12.
Woo-wee. It was 3 and a half tonight, Chris. See, the Brew Crew corrected me. Okay, he came in at 14 then. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Osai had a half sack in 5 out of 6 games.
Yeah, and
That's
he had
the guy that I'd like to see resign, but it's our favorite agent that he has.
David
so.
Malagetta is Joseph Osai's agent, and
I'm
I
sure
agree.
he's on a vindictive path after he lost T.
As he should, Ryan. As he should. What else is that going to say? 100% he should be preparing for Buffalo because they can control nothing else, but their mindset has to be, all right, we're going to Buffalo.
Buffalo does not want to see us.
No.
Buffalo will get their ass handed to them if we come in.
Hell,
Buffalo.
I guarantee you, Glenn would be saying that right now to us. No way he would.
And there'll be plenty more time to talk about T. Higgins, but yes, he was injured again tonight and couldn't finish the game in the second half. So every time it's like, you have to sign this guy. And then the offense was worse without him.
Yeah.
And he's injured again.
He already was coming in with an injured ankle. So, like,
it's fair.
I'm not surprised that he got out of it. I was more surprised with Mims coming in and then they swapping Ford out again for Mims. I thought Mims looked good for the couple snaps he had.
Well, we're only given one special teams game ball, and K. Jordan kicked one out of bounds. So field goal wise, yes, I do have to show him his love there.
I don't know. I would give
he's
special
honorary.
teams to Shaka Hayward.
Oh, all right. I guess we got to give more than one because I just wanted to show my guy Isaiah Williams some love. Because having to step in at kick return, too, like he's been doing punt returns. He looked really good as a kick returner. Yeah.
Very.
Did you guys see one of the final and I was really excited about this because we've been talking about how Myles Murphy gets better pressure from like his natural edge position. They moved Trey over to the left end and then Murphy to the right.
Yeah,
so
I also thought Murphy doesn't get as much credit as collapsing the pocket to help out the other guys, and it goes unnoticed. Murphy's been playing very well.
Yeah,
last couple games, he might not be getting the sacks, but he's causing a lot of help for the other guys.
Yeah,
Murphy was held like crazy toward the end on that one play too.
Yeah, yep.
It was very clear, and he got good pressure on that, and that was in a huge moment.
And McKinley Jackson has really come on. He looks nice. I'm happy with McKinley Jackson.
He's a nice little bit.
Volson and extension. Will, stop trolling. Stop trolling, because I know that's a troll.
Kappa played better today. I would say I didn't see too much bad out of Kappa, but Volson, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The guy, he was like falling down. He was on roller skates going backwards.
It was so bad, and I just don't understand. Was there something wrong with Cochran? Because Cochran had been coming in playing left tackle and then had to come in and fill in for Mims at right tackle. Cody Ford is questionable there for a while, and they clearly didn't want to play Mims, but he's the one who came in for a series or two.
Yeah.
And Cochran didn't, and I'm like, what the? And then Ford's back in, so it's just
Mims was in on every field goal kick, which was odd.
It's interesting.
Just because he's a massive body, so I guess he doesn't really have to use his right
hand.
So
just stand there, big man.
Yeah.
Obviously excited about the possibility about going to the playoffs, but dude, we're battered and bruised right now. It's like
we're pretty beat up.
Yeah, it's like holy shit. I mean, T was like, they showed him walk into the locker room, and he was like, "Hey, we have a chance still," or whatever, but he was limping pretty bad. So, but whatever.
Then he still made some hellacious catches in cold ass weather.
Yeah,
like that one, just like grabbing it at his ankles was unbelievable. And then the overhead freaking in between that whole shot was unbelievable.
Just go up and get it. He can always do that. And it's just, man, he's a special talent. You just wish he didn't get so injured. That's all.
Yeah.
If we dominated the whole game, like Chase, I still can't believe he didn't come down with that touchdown. I mean, Burrow threw a dime right to him and he dropped it.
It's almost like he mistimed his jump a bit, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
it looks like it.
Hey, to the Pittsburgh fan base, we gave you guys plenty of shots. We kept handing you guys shots. I mean, we can only give you so many. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ivy kicking the ball and you guys are recovering it. I mean, geez, as a Bengals fan, we go, there it was. It was.
Yeah, for sure.
This is what happens. We're so used to this. And then
they had every ball bounce their way from the interception with Burrow to the punt. Like everything bounced their way that game.
Russell Wilson, man. I mean, he had time, and he had time in all the world in the field. Russell Wilson, he's just not. I mean, I hope the Steelers stick with Russell Wilson.
Steelers will get absolutely crushed by the Ravens.
Oh yeah,
Chargers win. Steelers have no shot.
I just love that this, like, everybody praises the Steelers every fucking year. I would hate to watch them be a fan of their team. It's just gross. I mean, their defense is fun. They get a lot of pass rush, but do you want to go and be one and done?
Yeah.
Every year? Like, I don't know. Like, I understand consistency and being a fan of a team. It's cool to always like have your team in the playoff, but I don't know, man. It's like
us 2011 through 15.
Yeah. Yeah. After a while, it's like, okay, cool. Like, we need to do something because like going to the playoffs and just losing in the first round every year, I'm like, after a while, that gets old,
Well, TJ Watt was TJ Watt hurt at the end because one guy
I don't know. He never entered back in like the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, because they were pointing out one guy taking over for TJ Watt, and you don't have him healthy for the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, though, our secondary has played so much better. The only thing that's been frustrating is our coverage on tight ends.
Yeah, and that's linebackers. That's the linebackers most of the time that are on them.
We're just missing that coverage linebacker that can carry a tight end. But I thought our corners played exceptionally well. We got a lot of young talent. I still think CTB has come on and been the lockdown corner that we all knew he would be. A couple penalties, one maybe a little questionable, but the rest of the game, I mean, I think he gave up like 6 yards receiving against him.
I know Dustin wants to respond to this CTB because, and I'm somewhere in the middle, I think, of both of you guys on CTB. He has flashed again down the second half and really stepped up in my eyes, but he's also just didn't take that leap we thought in his third season. We thought we're talking all pro after last year. He got snubbed for at least Pro Bowl last year.
I mean, if you look at his PFF grade, he's better than it's his best year.
Yeah.
With a shit start.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's what I'm saying. I do think he's come on. But where I would be at, and then I'll let Dustin go, but where I would be at going into next year is like if Dax is healthy, DJ's healthy, plus you get Newton coming back and him, DJ Ivey, who made a nice play on that Pickens ball.
And Juan Drago.
I say you're all competing, where last year, that's what DJ, Juan Drago, it was DJ and Dax competing. I want to see all of them compete. Best guy wins the job. It'll bring out the best in Cam and everybody. That's where I'm at. But Dustin, your thoughts on Cam, and where do you see next year's corner room too? And then we'll jump it back to Matt.
Well, I think this is a prime example why you draft corners every year in the draft. I mean, we're out Hill, out Drago, So yeah, it'll be interesting. I just feel like Cam and his technique, it's always been a little sloppy. He gets handsy, but looking at his grades, I mean, his grades appear better than I thought he was playing. But it was cool to see him come along towards the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, in the secondary next year, it's going to be interesting to see, like, where do you slot Fig? Where do you slot? DJ Ivy's become your tight end killer. I thought, they didn't have him on a tight end tonight. We were rotating in the secondary quite a bit because Hilton went in, Ivy came in. Fig came out, Ivy came in sometimes. So it was an interesting mix. Yeah. I think Lou was going deep into his tricks tonight. But I think it's going to be a battle in the secondary next year. And I think, obviously, the Bengals draft corners every year or a safety. We're probably going to add somebody in the draft. So it's going to be interesting going into camp to see how that
It's a good problem to have in the camp, I think.
Yeah.
Totally. And you always need them, like you mentioned to start there with Dustin, is you're always you play 3 or 4 of them anyways. And then you always end up needing a 5th, 6th, and a 7th, basically. Yeah. So, Greg, I know you've been always wanting to bring in a free agent. So, Matt, anything with the CTB that you want to on that before we talk corners in general?
The only thing I'll hit on with beginning of the year, from what I understand, is that there was a lot of communication and trust issues between him and Stone, and that seemed to be worked out on the second half of the season, and you're seeing it. I think they tried too much, not understanding or trusting each other, I guess I would say, and now they are. And you see it on the field. It looks good. I mean, Stone was there. Stone's actually making tackles and coming up and hitting the running back, for the love of God, that you didn't see in the first 8 games of the season. It's just like he stood there. But now they look good. I don't know what they do with Stone next year.
Yeah, I don't either because the money's still pretty high, but it's like you saw flashes down the stretch. That's a tough one too.
He came up in the run game and stuck his nose in there a little bit too tonight. That was nice.
Well, they were talking about that was a good job of him. He's the last line of defense to make the tackle, and I'm like, Najee kind of tackled him. To be fair,
yeah, true. Yeah.
But no. Greg, anything on the corners though to go back to that? Like, would you say draft one more, or would you say you want a veteran free agent?
No, that's a good question. Because I think me and Matt kind of got into a discussion here. I mean, your first priority is the trenches. I mean, I'm making that very clear. Your first priority is the trenches. I forget who tweeted this out. Someone tweeted, this will never happen. I don't even know if I'd even do it, but as a Bearcat fan, Sauce Gardner, he wants to get the hell out of New York. I'd love to have him on here, but it's not worth probably getting rid of a first-round pick for. But, man, I just think we need that one shutdown corner. I like what Newton's doing. I like Ivy. And TTB's coming along okay. I'm just saying, man, it wouldn't hurt to get that one shutdown corner. I know that's not easy to find, but I still would be for adding another free agent. But if I had to come down to the draft to free agency, I would go free agency personally to get a proven one.
Well, and, when we talk about if CTB, let's say next year he comes out and he's absolutely on fire. He doesn't have an extension, but it's going into the last year of his rookie deal being a second-round pick on his fourth season. And he is shut down, which this will be a conversation for next year if that happens. But then you're going to have to pay him cornerback one money if he plays like – and we know that. We've seen enough – I think we've seen enough flashes that we know he could make that leap. He's got the athleticism to make that leap.
If I'm the Bengals, I'm going to him and trying to extend him now.
I just don't think they can, though, because they've got to extend Jamar, potentially Trey. Like, I think they're going to have
the money's there. You make the right cuts. The money's there with $100 million.
No,
But if you don't want to, then you got to, in my opinion, you got to at least get the best guard available in free agency right now.
I think they need that really bad because even if you draft two, you still need a proven veteran. You don't want to be relying on two rookies starting again.
No. You got to go get another guard. You'd keep Volson and Ford as your backups, obviously.
Yeah.
And probably Cochran. But you got to go get a freaking free agency guard. The best you can get.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about our bookends, Mims, Brown, and you add, I mean, Karras is playing pretty well. I mean, eventually we're going to have to figure that out. But you add one more guard, I think you can mask maybe like an average player at like a right or left guard or whatever,
We're bringing a rookie along, a third or fourth round rookie,
Maybe Matt Lee.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Matt Lee.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, sign Trent Brown again.
I would if you can get him for $2 or $3 million next season.
Throw him at guard if you need to. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, that was our first game ball handed out. Was George Pickens got a game ball from the Bengals.
You know the next game ball needs to be?
I do have a question about the Freiermuth, though. If he catches that, do you think do they get a spike in? I mean, they're only at like the 50, right? Like, I don't think.
They have how many seconds left? Like 14 seconds?
Yeah, they probably get a spike in. And fucking dude probably hits from – he looked good from 65 tonight. Yeah. Good God. Yeah. He's had a great season, too.
Boswell is unbelievable.
Boswell.
100% deserves the Pro Bowl.
You're kicking a fucking rock tonight because it's 10 degrees outside, and he's just booming.
You could hear the ball get fucking annihilated by him on the TV. It was just like when he freaking kicked it.
I hope Evan bounces back because a couple years ago, and that he is the blueprint for what you hope. A couple years ago, he had a huge, bad season. He just had a bad season. And now he's bounced back and looked incredible. So
was he that good last year?
That's what I feel like. He was mediocre, but 2 years ago,
Boswell was not that good. Boswell was not that good.
2 years ago was like his really bad one, I think. Though.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Evan.
No, he's hoping Evan bounces back like Boswell did.
I see what you're saying.
Boswell had a season 2 years ago like Evan had this year.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we see rookie Evan.
Yeah.
Well, you know who we need to give the next game ball to? The next Triple Crown winner, Jamar Chase.
Yes.
Yeah, he had 10 catches, 10 double digits again. So add 10 more to that part of it. Another 96 yards, add more to that part of it. And another touchdown, so add another one to that, and he was already up 4 on McLaurin on that one.
I think he has a 14-catch lead, 220-something yard lead, and a 4-touchdown lead. He's got it in the bag.
And additionally, he's the only player in NFL history with 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns in a single season. How many records have Burrow and Chase broke this year? It's hard to keep track of.
Chase is going to break another record for about $48 million a fucking year. That's wide receiver.
Yeah, that's the next record. But yeah, Jamar Chase, not only do you get a game ball for tonight's performance, you get a game ball for your season performance, no matter if we can sneak in the playoffs or not, because Jamar Chase You earned it, buddy. Well done, sir.
Hell yes.
I'll stick on offense and still one that you guys would probably say Khalil Herbert. So large workload of 20 carries,
Hands off.
69 yards. The average of 3.5, not elite. Got him down here for that can't be right. 7 catches? Nah, that's got to be like 2 or 3. They just got that wrong, don't they? He couldn't have had 7.
Yo, he did.
7 for 14?
Yeah.
Either way.
There was a lot of behind the line of scrimmage catches that didn't go anywhere.
But
yeah, I think
the rushing was solid enough. And for me, it was the one on Chase down the sideline on that catch. He stuck his fucking nose in there and blasted that blitzing linebacker. The guy still got a hit on Burrow, but to give Burrow time to get the ball, he stood in there and popped that dude. And I don't think he's really known for that. I think his PFF grades the last couple of years were not good when it came to being a blocker. I think a couple years ago he had a decent season in that category. But, hey, he stepped up because, honestly, Chase Brown was trying to go and couldn't. So knowing, you're the next man up, but not knowing for sure how much you're going to play, and then basically have to play the entire game.
And Herbert's come a long way from fumbling the first handoff that he ever got in a big
Yeah.
So, Khalil Herbert, you get a game ball.
Well,
Anybody else on offense?
I'm not gonna lie. Herbert was getting me nervous a little bit when he was getting kind of catching in the backfield. He was kind of bobbling like, ooh, But no, he got better. He definitely got better as time went on during the game.
But I know from throwing ball with Mixon and those cold games when you do it preseason or like before the game, not preseason, but before the game, those balls are like bricks. Like I can't imagine what it's got to be like to catch those things.
And as always, fuck the Steelers.
Yes.
You're right, Brandon.
Yeah.
You're right.
Can I give an interesting game ball?
Yes,
from
sir.
offense?
That's what we're here for.
It's going to be your favorite, Dale. Drew Sample.
Drew Sample.
He
He
did.
dropped that linebacker.
Yeah, dude. He was nailing dude on like trap blocks on the run game. And I mean I think Burrow is to the point where he would take a look downfield and just like I'm dumping it off. The pressure's coming too fast. He always just found Sample on those. So.
4 elite catches for an elite 14 yards as well, along with the blocking that Drew Sample provides. Drew Sample, you get a game ball.
All right. Even though he only had one catch, it was more on Burrow, the way how Burrow got out of the pocket, that pass to Tanner Hudson, that little flicker thing to Hudson right there. Oh my God, man.
When's the last time we played the Steelers and TJ Watt didn't?
What was that?
So when's the last time we played the Steelers and TJ Watt didn't get a sack? Because he didn't have one tonight.
Well, he was getting a shitload of pressure early, though.
Yeah, I tell you what, though. But I tell you what, Cam Hayward, though, he was driving me more nuts.
That dude, hats off to Cam Hayward.
Yes.
I'd give him a game ball because that dude, for his age, is still playing elite.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's just you get a game ball from us as old man. Like we're still balling at your age, brother.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
He caused a lot of problems. I mean, what was it? 4 pass deflections, 3 or 4 pass deflections.
Dude,
disgusting.
It's Every time Burrow plays the Steelers, somebody's getting a pass deflection, like 2 or 3. It's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I usually do it in order, but I didn't really do it in order. So I know me and Dustin would give offensive game balls. Matt, did you give an offensive game ball?
Yeah, I gave it to Chase.
All right, Chase, and then Greg, you gave yours to.
Well, no, I gave one to Pickens and all that and stuff. So but
an actual Bengals offensive player.
Man, I can't say Yoshi because Yoshi dropped a big pass, but he caught a good one. So, I'm trying to think. No, I'll give one to Gesicki. I know Gesicki.
Right, I was hoping 8 catches, 68 yards. I was waiting.
He got paid today, $250,000 on the first fucking play of the game. You know who else needs a game ball on the offense?
Who's that?
Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Playing on a double fractured fibula.
Yeah.
Freaking didn't give up a fucking pressure, in my opinion.
And could have melded in the season easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one could have blamed him. Not one bit. The man's been an Iron Man throughout his career.
Yeah.
After Trey Henderson, I would call Orlando Brown Jr. the second best free agency signing we've ever done.
Yeah, you could definitely argue that.
Yeah, for sure. BJ Hill, like 3rd.
Yeah.
Hilton's got to get some love.
I hope Hilton stays on the team next year. I really do. I love the guy.
This is a veteran.
I
Swiss
don't see
Army
any
knife.
fall off with him.
Yeah.
I'd do a 1-year deal kind of situation with
Yeah,
him.
give him 1 year, like $3 million.
Yeah.
Let him freaking play.
Yeah.
I don't think the market for him is going to be like, you know what I mean?
Well,
He wants to retire a Bengal. Let him retire a Bengal.
And then one person that didn't even get a game ball, even though he went 37 for 46, 277 is Burrow. But it's just like we're so used to only one touchdown, had an interception and a fumble, and could have had 2 fumbles. Listen, we're just so used to greatness with Burrow. We give other guys the game ball, but Joe Burrow, I mean.
And unfortunately, he ended
Great
his
player.
streak of 3 straight touchdowns.
Yes.
Yeah. Our red zone offense has been the last 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, that's
just-
still a problem.
That needs to be revamped. It's like the freaking Hugh Jackson style red zone the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we were one of the best red zone teams up until like the last, month of the season or whatever.
And I'm all in on a grinding, tough running, short yardage running back. I said maybe you could just have 2 Chase Browns. No, Dale, you fucking idiot. We need a big, more bruising guy. We need Cam Scattaboo from Arizona State. I got to talk about it.
My guy.
We need him.
Hey,
Give me that guy.
if we could get him 3rd round, I'd take him all fucking day.
Mactown.
The problem is, I think the biggest problem with the run game is our guard play. Our guards can't fucking do shit.
no.
That's true.
You know what's funny though? Like it felt like we were a better run blocking team than pass blocking tonight. Like they were
Yeah,
giving Herbert.
I thought Volson blocked in the run way better than he did in the past.
He's always been better at that, which has always been the head-scratching thing to me that we never brought competition in for him because we throw the ball so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do love dudes that grind, Will. You're right. That's a good comment. Dell loves dudes that grind. Let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. And Matt, I'll let you kick this one off again. We'll actually go in order. We'll go you, Dustin, Greg, and then me. So it gives us all time to think about it. But you get no time, Matt. You got to pick the first one.
For a game ball?
Yeah, this should be easy, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it's Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'll steal the thunder on that. I mean, the guy's been unbelievable. He should be Defensive Player of the Year. Probably won't get it because he's a fucking Cincinnati Bengal. Nobody in the NFL community likes the Bengals. He's not going to get it. It'll probably go to some bullshit like freaking TJ Watt or Myles Garrett, even though 100% it deserves to go to Trey Hendrickson.
And not just 3.5 sacks tonight. He also had that pass defense there late in the game.
Yes, he did.
Put that on the stat sheet, boys.
Yep.
Yeah. He was just that hand swipe he was using on Dan Moore. Oh, just elite pass rush moves.
It's always fun watching him play, man. It's just
So Move the Sticks did like a and why I'm kind of actually high on McKinley Jackson because of his get off.
Yeah.
So the top 4 pass rushers, and they ranked them in order. And I actually think Trey might have been 3rd, but they all have like the fastest get offs in football, which correlates with like, obviously the production with sacks and creating pressure. So that's like, and that's why I'm really still high on Miles Murphy too. It's like he has a fast get off too. So that's like a trait that I don't think you can really teach, It's just like force and suddenness. So
Sorry, Dustin. Before you give your defense a game ball, I got to at least mention this before it gets lost in the shuffle of the chat here with the Brew Crew. Burrow just said, you just can't let him get out of the building, talking about T. Higgins. That's always enough for me. If Burrow says that, like the things he's been saying, but he's like, I cannot say this any more definitively than I'm saying.
Burrow is teabagging the front office right now and saying, give me my fucking wide receivers.
Yeah, speaking of wide receivers, Jordan Schultz just said T. Higgins revealed that he was just playing through a high ankle sprain, and he says he will play through it if they play next week. He says, quote unquote, I have no choice.
He's going to run up that hill to practice.
Yes, he will.
Running up that hill.
I do have a question for you guys in light of what Burrow just said for like the 5th time now. So we always say like every offseason is like, this is the biggest offseason ever. I actually think this is one of the biggest off seasons ever because this is going to truly show if the Bengals front office has
Yes.
really,
Yeah.
We have said this in our chat.
Yeah.
Like, how competent are they?
And I have said it multiple times. This is the biggest offseason in the Bengals history. When you can have, if you do the proper cuts, you'll have $100 million in cap space. There is no reason you can't sign T and Chase. It's not going to hit next year. If you do it right and you can restructure Burrow and do even more, get your guard, get your D tackle, get your DN, and then go draft. They have to hit it correctly.
Yeah. And Joe Boo, man, love Joe Boo, always in the chat. Joe Boo says, Pittsburgh Browns have frozen hairy armpits. It's facts. All right, Dustin, defensive game ball, man. Who do you want to give it to?
Shaka Hayward.
4 tackle Shocker Hayward.
Play in the wood.
The shocker.
Yeah.
The shocker.
No, I mean, obviously Trey's the obvious one, but I mean, we'd all pick him. So I liked him. I would like to do both, like split the ball in half and do maybe Fig Noon too. You know,
Yeah, he played great.
7 tackles too. Like looking at
What was
this
he, like a 5th rounder?
Yeah, 5th rounder.
5th round. Yep.
Greg?
That's one thing we draft well as corners. I'll tell you what.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I thought he had a full sack, but he had half a sack. But hey, finished out with 5 sacks on the year. Joseph Osai. I mean, we got to get him back, but that's a Mulligata client right there. And Dale, like you were saying, he's still young. Someone could easily go out there and overpay the hell out of him.
And
Somebody
this guy,
like probably the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, somebody's going to pay him. Just because he's young, too. He's still 24, just going to turn 25. And Mulligata is his agent, so he's going to probably get a bag that the Bengals cannot pay or won't pay.
Do you think Mulligata is only tough with like the higher end clients though? Like maybe the lower end clients is not as.
Well, I didn't think Calvin Ridley was a higher end client, but good Lord, he got him paid.
Yeah.
Well, wide receiver was a high commodity last offseason.
Yeah. If our boy Callahan doesn't get it turned around pretty quickly, he might be gone pretty fast over there.
Yeah.
That didn't do
Titans
well.
fans are already like kind of at his neck. So,
but I'll go with the guy who had an up and down game on defense. But stat sheet wise, 12 tackles, 8 of those were solo tackles, and then 1 tackle for loss in the backfield, and that's Akeem Davis-Gaither. And he's had to fill in and play a lot more snaps. And yeah, he got beat in coverage a couple times. Yeah, he missed a tackle here or there. But that's why I say it was definitely an up and down game. I'm not letting him off the hook when it comes to that. But I think overall, Akeem Davis-Gaither has stepped up, and Akeem Davis-Gaither giving you a game ball.
I'd still throw out a honorable mention to Cam Taylor-Britt for the 4th down stop on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Well, it was huge. It was huge. They're going for it. You know, it led to points for us, and he came off that edge. It looked like a Mike Hilton play, like someone said earlier. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to watch that playback because that was like a designed inside run, and he bounced it a little bit, right? So I want to see who got like who muddied the line up there first, you know, because
that's
We
important.
didn't hear much from Jenkins tonight. I don't know if he was in on that play, but you know, I'd like to see what yeah. So see what happened with that. But hell of a play for sure by CCB.
And I've been really impressed with McKinley Jackson.
Yeah.
The last couple games, he's really been there on a lot of plays. He's involved a lot when he gets his opportunities, and he's exciting for what he's going to progress to, I think.
Yeah, let me so Dale, I know we kind of discussed it. I'll ask you, Dustin and Matt, I'll ask you guys this. Is McKinley Jackson someone you think that could fill in that DJ Reader role, or not really? Is he more of like a rotational guy? I know, Dale, you kind of said rotational, but Matt and Dustin, do you guys think he could fill in that role, or is he just a rotational guy?
For me, I'm still going to hold out rotational.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
You really, I mean, to be at DJ Reader's level is just, I mean, you're in that Geno Atkins role as well. Like, it's tough. You really got to have a hell of a second year. I'm going to hold out for rotational for right now.
Okay.
Agreed.
I would love to see like how some of the top defenses in the NFL are constructed, to see if they're like truly dedicating like a defensive tackle as just like a purely run stopper, you know? Because like I kind of wonder if like you could be somebody that creates a lot of penetration on run plays and just muddies that line up a little bit. Whereas like DJ would take two linebackers on. I don't know. It's just two linemen on. I'm always curious because I think the strategy the Bengals are like this year, and not saying it was a good one. Obviously, what happened with Rankins, but it was like, okay, we need pass rush. We're willing to die on the vine with the pass rusher and let Reader walk. So I don't know, because obviously our run defense hasn't really been like way terrible this year either. After
stretches. There's been stretches. There were stretches. It was awful in the first half of it. Then I've seen flashes in the second, and then last week was really bad. I thought today was a lot better than last week for sure. Yeah, and that was
injuries
my big word.
Injuries really hampered the evaluation on the run defense in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to give this honorary game ball that Will's talking about here too. The replay 100%. Refs a game ball because 3 straight downs.
Oh my God.
3 straight downs. They gave them, marked them for first downs. But the replay ref said, and they were short on all 3 of them. And that's when we got that ball back on.
And that's what the replay is all about. It should be like that on a lot.
And they were this quick. They were this quick with them. There's so many things that you can't tell me they can't do that with the face mask. We've bitched about that face mask. When it's an obvious face mask, the refs can't buzz in and say, hey, you missed an obvious face mask. It's plain as fucking day. That's a penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the refs were kind of tonight, but I'll give them credit for that. That was at the end of the first half, though.
Well, it wasn't the on-field refs. That's why the game ball went to the replay officials.
In New York.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give out another game ball. Special teams. How about Isaiah Williams, man? He had 2 or 3 good returns, I thought.
I already gave that out, Greg. God, you don't even listen to me. He doesn't even listen to me, guys.
I thought it was a great pickup. Great pickup.
Yeah.
Just great pickup, yeah. And we were like, is this what we need? No, we need an – hey, Khalil Herbert, too, to go back to him, who I gave an offensive game ball to. I trade a 7th-round pick for him again just for the win tonight.
100%.
Yeah. We call him Herbie.
The problem was we needed pass rush. Yeah, Herbie the love bug.
Herbie.
Yannick's still out there.
Yes.
But we needed pass rush. And it's like that was the only thing, but there was no reason we couldn't do both. We just don't have a lot of picks next year. But you can send people a future first-round pick, Bengals. You're allowed to do that. People do it all the time. I promise you.
Yep.
Has anybody, Dale? Have you tracked the trades that took place in at the trade deadline, and how have those kind of panned out? Have you kind of followed along with those?
No, but I think we'll know more in the postseason for some of those trades because we've seen, and one of them we've seen tonight, Preston Smith, right? And that was like a 7th-round pick. And he had some moments. I think that we would have taken those moments here. Especially at the time.
No doubt.
I don't know about the guy the Chiefs got early on that I really like him. He was, why am I blanking on his name from New England? Josh Uche.
Yeah, I haven't really heard much from him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think we'll see in the playoffs if he does something. Then it'd be worth it for them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll do something tomorrow. Maybe Josh Uche will have a 5-sack game.
Yeah, I know.
A pick 6. Josh Uche single-handedly helps the Bengals get in the playoffs. Josh Uche, that would be a great pickup for the Chiefs.
Wouldn't that be something?
Let's go.
That'd be so funny. Did you see the Chiefs plane had trouble even getting out of the Kansas City today?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of panic on the Bengals fans.
That would have been interesting for the NFL if they didn't leave.
Yeah.
Dolphins are in with a forfeit. Or not the Dolphins. The Broncos are in. Broncos are in with a forfeit by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That would be so NFL to fuck Cincinnati that way.
Yeah, it's in the fact you knew for days this was going to happen. I mean, come on.
It'll be a coin flip.
Yeah, man, what a game, though. What a roller coaster of emotions. I honestly, if we would have lost, I couldn't even been too mad at the defense. That was something I was like, this would have been on the offense. We could have closed that game down. We couldn't do anything in the red zone. So for me, it would have definitely been all about hey, the offense could not get it done in this one.
Yeah.
I didn't think Zach Taylor had a bad game called. I thought everything was good. He did everything he should have done.
I thought there was only too many screens, too much behind the line of scrimmage stuff. But I get it. I get it because it's the Steelers and the pressure and the trying to get the ball out quick. I do understand the thought of it.
I thought their first drive game plan was executed and schemed perfectly.
Yeah.
It was like, God damn, if Joe Burrow's going to do this the whole game.
Yeah, our production was great on the first couple of drives, and then it fell apart because they started squatting on the routes. Burrow only averaged 6 yards completion, so that's pretty wild.
Yeah, we didn't really. I don't think we ever threw the ball really deep, more than like 15 yards downfield. Other than T. Higgins' catch and that whole shot on the cover two, it wasn't really anything that was pushed downfield.
Yeah, I think they were playing single high at first, and they started dropping 2 deep safeties. Then they're having the corner squat on the routes and the pass rush. It was just they suffocated us. There's not really much you can do in offense when you can't protect more than 3 seconds, and then all the the corners are squatting on the routes. It's just I think the coaching staff was we just got to do what we got to do to win the game, But with that being said, if we score touchdowns in the red zone, it looks like a great offensive performance.
Yeah, that was the difference. That was the difference, and that could have been the difference in us if we would have lost. It would have That's what I would have said. I would have had to go back to the offense and the red zone struggles.
If you make the playoffs, you're not going to see a defense like the Steelers the rest of the way. Maybe Kansas City.
I was going to say the Chiefs have a very good defense.
Kansas City will be your defense, but their offense, still, in my opinion, is a lot like maybe I would say the Steelers.
Well, if they somehow get lucky enough to get in, it's all eyes on Buffalo, and then it goes to our defense, what can Lou really scheme up? That's a low key. Another reason I'd love to see us get in the playoffs, because I would love to see, okay, Lou, this is when I could really get on board with bringing you back. Go out there and scheme something up against Josh Allen and this Bills team and beat them again, like you've done in the past.
Right.
Now I'm all fully back on board on keeping
Bills' defense does not match up with us at all on offense. It'll be a shootout unless Lou schemes up a good plan.
Or 3 feet of snow, which is always possible.
Yeah. I would say, though, it's kind of interesting because Andy Reid actually plays his starters in the preseason quite a bit. I thought he was going to play his starters because the last couple weeks, the Chiefs' offense has actually been picking up a little momentum. I think it's a huge mistake for them not to play their starters for at least a quarter or first half.
They already have the bye, too, so it's a long, long layoff.
Yeah. They're 24 days not playing. Yeah,
it's wild. I mean, obviously, maybe the crossover from college to the NFL is not the same, but we saw that, the first round buys went 0-4 in college. I'm not trying to maybe that's not apples to apples, but still, it's a long time to not play ball.
But it's big talk, right? It's a big talk about the layoff. Maybe it's not an advantage to have that rest. It's better to be out there playing. And then you're seeing NFL teams voluntarily taking a month off at this point.
But there's a difference between 2 weeks and damn near a month of not playing football.
Yeah. I think that's gonna. I don't know. I just think that's gonna backfire. I really do. Who would they have in the first round potentially? It would be. I mean, I guess.
Definitely won't be Buffalo, right?
Bills, that's the thing. If we don't make it in, Bills will win. It'll probably be the winner between whatever the Texans game is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Texans will play it'll be the 4 or 5 seed against the Texans.
Texans Chargers that's the one, right? Texans Chargers. So so they could be facing we'll just say Chargers. I don't know. Texans Chargers coin flip, but in my opinion.
Yeah. The Charger Texans is going to be a rock fight.
Yeah.
I think either of those teams. I think either of those teams could beat the Chiefs, taking 24 days off.
100%.
Yeah. Yep. You just can't duplicate that speed, that you see, especially postseason. It ramps up even faster from the regular season. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
It's a ballsy call.
It's a ballsy call.
Well, they also know they have the referees on their side.
Yep.
State Farm, Fumblerooski. Yeah. Yeah, just crazy game tonight. I was just dude, I'm dying. I'm we've been playing in the playoffs, even though this is what's really weird about this season is if it feels like we're kind of already in the playoffs. You know what I mean? The way that we're playing these games because they're must win. So it's almost like we're having like at least our young players are getting like playoff experience, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But like,
Good point.
I was going to ask you, like, has the Bengals in our history ever been in a position? I know that we've been winning it in, but have we ever been in a position where we had to other teams lose for us to get in? Is this the first time in history that we faced this?
No, because no, I was at the one game that we lost to the Ravens, and then before we leave, the Texans or someone lost or won, and it got us in. And I was at that game. It's when Ray Rice ran all over us. I actually won tickets off of Twitter, off of Ray Maluga. But there was a fight that broke out in the stands right after because people was arguing about, I don't even want to be in the playoffs because we just got our ass kicked. I don't want to be in. And someone else was like, fuck you, I always want to be in. And then these two started literally throwing punches. And I was like, well, hot damn, I want to be in, but I am not about to punch somebody about it.
I think it was, they showed it maybe during the game. It was when Aaron Rodgers and the Packers had to beat somebody to get us in.
Okay, I don't remember that, but my memories escapes me. But yeah.
I could be wrong, but
no,
yeah, it was definitely something with that Ravens game that happened. And then we were playing the Texans. Maybe that's the only reason I remember the Texans, because then we played them a couple years.
Yeah, it was probably a J.J. Watt pick six.
But I don't remember who got us in. You know, I don't remember what happened to get us in. I was highly inebriated at the game watching us get our shit kicked in by the Ravens. Because we could have got in on our own had we just beat the Ravens.
Hey, guys, I'm going to hop off here.
Same here. I got to jump.
So.
All right, boys.
See you guys.
See you. We'll probably won't do this too much longer. Appreciate you guys hopping in.
Today.
And now we're back to college football talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is cool to see some of our lower draft picks kind of get on the field and deliver. You know, I mean, that's the glue of the team that you need, because it's like, you know.
Well, and that's why I go back to Lou, Dustin. Like, the fact that the defense is playing better and the young pieces that are playing better, I could see that carrying in to next season.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, but he can't. It's almost like he was doing too much early in the season, because we saw the communication was terrible. Like, these guys were overthinking. They were whatever they were trying to check into. It's like, no, this is what we're running. Go out there and run it now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It was just an interesting coaching year. It's almost like, you know, we like, hey, the team had a bad year. It's almost like our coaches had a bad year. If that makes sense. It was like
Greg had ladies waiting, by the way. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, Shaka. Yeah, he was laying the wood, dude. I would say though, like this is kind of a testament where you kind of like, it's good to have like a young team towards the end of the year, because if you kind of looked like the speed that we were playing with tonight, that's like fresh legs, you know, like running around, like Shaka just blasting people. He hasn't been on the field a lot this year, you know, like I think this is the time of year where, like, imagine these dudes, 17 games, their bodies, especially when you're a veteran, you're probably just like moving like half speed. And you got these young bulls running around, you know, trying to make a roster and just trying to make plays. Like, I'm down for that for sure, for those guys to get experience, you know?
Yes. And the guys getting experience is great no matter who's the defensive coach. But you guys all know, if you watch this show regularly, I was all on board of Fire Lou, and I'm like, I've still been Fire Lou, and then I keep saying, well, we'll see how we do against a winning team, the Broncos, and it's like, okay, I see. I still think I want to fire Lou. There was enough bad in that I was like, the deep balls, this and that, and then tonight I'm like, you know, that's a pretty good defensive performance. I understand it's Russell Wilson. Yeah. He's not been good. I understand that, but that's the same Russell Wilson that put up over 400 yards on us the last time we played him.
Yeah. And to get this many young guys to play this well in such a short time too, I mean, you got to, again, like kind of tip your cap to coaching in that situation.
So I guess here's where I'm at with Lou, ultimately, for me. Because Tina asked, we were talking about this a bit. Do you really think any coaches will get fired? I want to start the conversation with Lou, but then Chris Crowley mentions Pollock has to be fired. And I definitely think that's the next conversation we should jump into. But I want to start with Lou, strictly Lou here. My position right now, whether we get in the playoffs or not, because if we get in the playoffs and do something, then I'm fully on board with keeping it.
Yeah.
But if we don't make the playoffs and we just end it now with 5 straight wins, 9-8 overall record, I will not be mad either way. And that's I couldn't have said that 2 weeks ago. I would have been livid if Lou came back.
Yeah.
I actually think I'd just be okay with if Lou came back.
Yeah.
I would be okay if he came back.
Yeah.
I'd be okay if they fire him. But if they fire him, I expect them to bring in somebody that should/could be an upgrade, a top 2-3 guy on the market. That's where I'm at with Lou. How about you?
I'm kind of the same. Because like,
hey, if you're filling up a drink, fill up a drink.
I had to pour some more whiskey real quick. So
nothing wrong with that. Just say, hey, I got to check on my dog.
Yeah. I can hold it down. I'll come back on camera. Give me 1 second.
You're
So,
good. I was saying I tossed it to you, and then I was like, damn it, my guy's filling up a drink.
Yeah.
It's my bad, Dustin.
It's like the last dribble of whiskey, so I had to I might as well just take it down. But yeah, dude, I'm kind of on board with that because what I actually want to see is just maybe some change in positional coaches. I had mentioned him before, but the Rosati guy that came in from Minnesota, you could see his influence in our pass route trees and stuff like that. So I would just like to see maybe them add some coaches or maybe swap some out, positional coaches, maybe on the defensive side, just to bring kind of new ideas and just have a different voice, Hobby.
That was I was going to say that too. When we're talking Lou, you talk about changing defensive guys. I think Hobby's the one, but now I've seen a lot of good things from the defensive players.
I know. We're getting pass rush. What the fuck? Jesus.
So it's maybe it's not been Hobby's fault.
You know what's funny? We literally we could break this season down so much, but at the end of the day, if we make a couple fucking kicks, we're in the goddamn playoffs. You know what I mean? It's all. I mean, obviously, you don't want to go through this season just with Band-Aids over stuff, and you're gonna get exposed at some point. But at the end of the day, it's Jesus Christ.
I said we were probably in this one soon, but Dustin's filling up a drink, and I hadn't drank till after the game, having me a little Victory Miller Lite now, so might just have to keep this rolling. So I put out the link if anybody wants to hop in. Not saying we'll keep it going for a long time, but if anybody wants to hop in, links in the chat, man. Hop in, give your thoughts on the game. I got a robe like this too, but this is just a jacket, and big pimping.
I love it. That robe is.
But dope. I got off of Amazon. I don't know if they still have them. Got a couple 2-3 years ago, so I don't know if they still got them. But yeah, it was $30-$40. Not like some of these coats you're seeing that cost $400. I can't do that. I ain't big balling like that.
It's balling. I would say the Bengals gear. We have some of the best fucking.
It's true.
It's just we got the best fans. We have we have artists that are painting pictures for players. We got so much personality out of the Natty. I love it. I mean, I don't live in Ohio anymore, but it's just it's a city full of hardworking, but you got a lot of cool fucking artists there. You got music, you got good restaurants. It's a cool ass place, man. And our fans are awesome. I
was gonna say the fans, first and foremost, man, are just great. No, we're not sponsored by Garage Beer, but I turned down no sponsorships. They do sponsor Project Game Day that we're kind of part of with the tailgates, and provide beer for the tailgates. We had been with 50 West, who's been great for us, and they provide beer for Bengals and Brews. So it's always
Mm-hmm.
But as you see, no 50 West. That's nothing against 50 West. It's one of those things just going to mutually part ways. I still love 50 West.
Yeah,
And also, I'm not good at sponsoring 50 West, Garage Beer, anything else, because if I'm drinking a beer, I don't drink a lot of beer anymore, but if I'm drinking beer, It's Miller Lite, guys. Now, Miller Lite wants to throw a sponsorship my way. Let's go.
Get him. Get him. Do you want a fucking sexy man in his garage doing a podcast about the Bengals? I got a guy.
I'll wear whatever they want. If they just send me free beer. But
you can do a Miller High Life Bengals and Bruce collab. That'd be awesome.
So back to the coaches.
Yeah.
Pollock next.
I'm done with him. Dude, it's so funny. I got a funny story for you. I actually worked with a guy that went like as high school friends with him. And even him was like, yeah, I'm because we were talking about the Bengals. And he goes into the story like how that's his buddy from high school. And he's like, and they're still friends. He's like, I'm surprised he's still coaching the O-line. Because like I think anybody that watches football recognizes like just a disaster of our offense line that we've had for numerous years now. So, and maybe they haven't had the talent, whatever, but at some point it's like, you know what I mean? What's the common factor here? So I'm kind of out on him, man.
I just think you get a really good one in there. You can change your fortunes, and maybe Pollock's a middle of the road guy. Maybe he hasn't had the talent, but when you're here in Cincinnati, you're also part of bringing in that talent.
Yeah.
So like the Volson and sticking with Volson as long and as much as you have, and Karras is a veteran. Kappa was a veteran. I know that he has been awful this year and signs of it last year, but that wasn't a bad pick, but they're free agents, Orlando Brown called you guys, which is to me still laughable to the front office that you hadn't even called Orlando Brown. You didn't even call him. He called you. But, I mean, he's fantastic. And then Mims, hey, you made a good draft pick. So I will give credit to Pollock, Duke, everybody for the Mims pick. But Mims' issues was still the injuries. 800 snaps total in college. That's still a concern. Great first year. Looks like a great pick.
Yeah.
Just got to see him out there more.
Yeah. I guess, I mean,
this too, Pollock is the run game coordinator too. So while we're talking Pollock, would you say it's been a great run game plan? I got two Dusties, one on the top, one on the bottom. That sounded really gay.
What up, dude?
What's up, bro?
Big win. Dude, I noticed that Dustin Croft he sounds a little bit like me. I was listening to the show the other day when he was on, and I was like, am I listening to like it says it's live, but I thought maybe I was listening to like a playback, like just some like, it was just very quick and very slight, and I was like, I don't know, but
well, at least he goes with Dustin, and you go with Dusty. Now, if you both went the same direction with the name, then I would be, and we're off the screen, I'd be like, I don't know which one I'm talking
to. Yeah, back to I heard right before I got on, you guys were talking about O-line and Frank Pollock and stuff. That play on Ted Karras, that ineligible man downfield. Talk about a kind of a gimme.
That was trash. That was trash.
Right there,
fucking ticky tack, just like that guy was.
Yeah, they acted like he was 5 to 7 yards downfield. He was literally borderline
on the line of scrimmage.
Nobody. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And I don't know. That was one of the things that made me mad. It was a good win, man. I'm glad they grinded out a tough one. That's all. They got the win. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's gonna be some fun.
Yeah, they're both games are at 425. Someone mentioned that a minute ago, and 100% on that. I'm glad they're at 425 because I can drink a few more Millers if I want and not fucking worry about it.
And 425 in New York, it's going to get colder as the day goes on because I think originally it was like going to be 38 at 1 o'clock. I can imagine it's going to dip down because the sun's setting. So
big Breece Hall game. Is he playing?
Yeah.
He hasn't had a great year because I know everybody's like Rodgers and Carson Wentz. Nah, man. For me, it's like Breece Hall, turnovers. Sauce is out because I was about to say that one too. Yeah,
Sauce hasn't had a good year either. All the Jets fans are like, I don't think he knows how to play football anymore.
I don't think
maybe he just don't want to play there. Garrett Wilson also don't want to play there. But hey, maybe we need them to have an all-time game tomorrow. We also need the Chief. We somehow need the Chiefs to pull something out, playing no one. So Samaje Perine, come on, man, we still love you here. We love you. Let us in the dance, baby. Go off.
Help us out.
So
Yeah,
thoughts on Pollock, thoughts on Lou, the coaches, what we were just talking about, Dusty? Any thoughts? Because if you don't have any, it's fine. But
Oh, I do. Frank Pollock,
Okay.
see you later about a year ago. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here? I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm not in the mood of like firing people. I get it. Like, I don't. Nobody likes to do that, but at some point, bro, you're sitting here talking about glass eaters, and you're talking about these guys being dogs and whatever. Joe Burrow's been hit how many times late? In where was the dogs at? Where's those glass eaters? You know, setting the tone for Joe. No, they didn't set nothing. They just said, "Oh, here, Joe. Like maybe I'll help you up, maybe."
Yeah.
And then Volson just getting lit up today. Dude, I watched him on one play, literally getting knocked 3 to 5 yards back from his stance. That's insane. He got blown up.
Who day, Tina? Just checking out. But checking in, Trevor. What's up, buddy? I'm gonna let Dustin continue, but who day, Trevor hopping in for the first time. Looks like he's still getting set up.
What's up, buddy? What's going on, man?
What's up, my guy? Dusty, continue, and then we'll toss it to you, Trevor. We're still talking coaches, how you feel about keeping them, but Dusty, you finish first, and then we'll kick it over to Trevor.
Yeah, I think Frank Pollock, I've been done with him. Lou, you know, everyone, Ludini, you know, the guy, he just seemed to scheme everything up, and he was doing the right things a couple years ago. That's kind of faded after we've lost some pieces. Some of the younger players are starting to shine.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm at with Lou. Like, do I want to give him another year? Or, because we talked about this before, Dale. We talked about it maybe a month ago, and it was like, who are you going to bring in? Is this person going to move? Is he going to advance the team, or are you going to take a step back to get their program all set in place? If you get a Robert Saleh, like, yeah, now let's upgrade. If we're doing it, make it an upgrade. If you're not upgrading, like, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? Like,
does anybody know his contract situation too? Because I think that's a key part of it as Bengals fans. Because if Lou's contract is out, now would be the time for them to move on. If Lou has 1 or 2 years on his deal, I think the Bengals would just say, we're definitely rolling it back. You know, and then it wouldn't even – I would just stop probably talking about it regardless of my feelings on it.
Yeah. I don't know, because they've been constantly talking about him getting head coaching job or interviews. So if they're going to release him or whatever that looks like I get it's a little different than just being done –
right,
like firing him, but
right.
I don't know.
So I assume there's still a payout for coordinators. I could be wrong, but I would assume there's some kind of payout. And we all know Mike Browning just trying to pay people to not come to work.
So how do you guys feel about Zach though? Like, you know, is Zach?
I just think he's back. I think he's completely safe. I think you could have a conversation about Zach, but
even if you think he's safe, do you think Zach should be safe? Like, I personally do like Zach. Like,
I think anytime you don't make the playoffs with Joe Burrow, no one should be safe. Everyone should be a conversation.
Right.
But I am not on the fire Zach as much as a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Because he calls the plays and the offense wasn't great today, especially red zone. But overall, the offense has been very, very elite this year overall. So I'm like, I think Zach's job is safe for that reason of how good the offense is.
And I'm not that impressed with like the head coaching candidates that are out there either. You know, like
it's fair.
You know, I mean, Vrabel's going to interview with the Jets. That makes me question like his decision making. You know? It's like I was so surprised by that. And then everybody's on the Ben Johnson train, but the people, what a lot of people don't understand, like even like Shane Steichen for the Colts, like he's not a culture guy at all. He got hired based upon like his offensive prowess, and like the Colts are falling apart. There's questions about players becoming to meetings late. So I don't know. I like Zach. I like my coach to be a culture guy. Now he does have his hand in the play calling, so it's kind of like there's like you gotta probably major in something. You gotta have like some kind of like thing that you have an influence over. And I think Burrow does like him a lot. I think there was like some people making some stuff up like, oh, Burrow and Zach. I don't know. I'm cool with him. I just think there needs to be like some younger voices in the coaching positional coaches and just like some new ideas and philosophy.
Foxy, is that about Pollock? Or not Pollock? About Lou? Does Lou's contract run to 27? Just put that in the chat for me as I kick it to Trevor. Trevor, welcome. First time on, I believe.
Absolutely. I've been a follower since 2020, my man.
Hey, yeah. I appreciate that. Shout
what the hell
out.
Is great? What the hell is Greg doing?
Probably getting pussy.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Had to go slay the hose.
What do you guys think about maybe Ben Johnson? But I'm a Zach Taylor fan, but I think we need a new defensive voice in the building, coordinator wise.
So you would still get rid of Lou. We'll start there. You would get rid of Lou?
I mean, it depends. I mean, if we make a run and we some way miraculous tomorrow get lucky, maybe not, but
barring not making the playoffs, let's just say we don't, then you say fire Lou because it's not been good enough.
We need a new voice in the building.
That's fair.
Correct.
And then Frank Pollock's the other one we've covered a lot, Trevor. So what are your thoughts on Pollock as the offense coordinator or O-line coach, and run game?
He should have been gone 2 years ago.
It's fair.
I've been a diehard Bengals fan since 1987. I'm 42 years old. He's a bum. And everybody praises him around the league. He's terrible.
Yeah.
What do you do? You go get Orlando Brown Jr. He's having a great year. But then you get all these other people. Cody Ford had a hell of a game today. I'll give him that. He looked really good. Volson, we got to do something with the interior, though. We have to.
Guards. Yeah. Guards specifically.
Both guards, yeah.
Both guards. Yes, correct.
Yeah, one at Pooney looked nice in stripes.
Hey, do you guys know what happened to last week? I saw something about Pollock, and it looked like Mims and Pollock were kind of getting into a little heated thing. Do you think that was just because his wrist and he was being sat out? Or do you think there was something more to it, or maybe I missed something? Do you guys know what I'm talking about at all?
Mm-hmm. I think it was the wrist thing. I don't think it was any more than that. I think the players like Frank. I just think it's more about what techniques is he teaching, stuff like that. So, because sometimes players will like coaches, but maybe they're not being pushed hard enough too, that kind of thing. So I don't know. But
I just haven't seen enough development of players, no matter who he has or who plays. Because ultimately, I think he would have a big say in who plays on his own line.
Well, especially as a run game coordinator.
Not trying to interrupt you guys, but the whole thing was I heard the Carmen Jackson hiring was totally on Frank. And I mean, look, that went to dumpster.
See, I kind of heard maybe that was Mike Brown. And
I mean, it might have been. I mean,
but I'm not sure.
You know more than me. I'm just
either way. It was all about. No, I don't know shit, to be honest. But I read that somewhere. I feel like not that I heard it from the sources at all. And we got Little Chop. I don't know who's Little Chop down here, but I'm afraid to know who Little Chop is because Industry says.
Does he got the hat on his penis?
Yes, is that Pork Chop's penis wearing the hat?
He's wearing the glasses on his balls.
I'm going to disappoint you. It's Santori.
Well, Santori, you probably didn't watch the show yesterday, but Chop literally was talking about putting a little hat on his penis. Then he literally grabbed a tiny hat right beside him.
Well, then this is a happy accident. Very apropos.
What's up, brother?
I am exhausted. I've gone through emotional tirades the last 2 weeks.
2 wins, though.
2 wins. 5 in a row. We're unstoppable.
We won the regular season Super Bowl.
Hell yeah, we did. Fuck the Steelers.
Yeah, fuck it. The playoffs are made up anyways. They don't really count. Who cares?
You can always say that, right?
The rules are made up and nothing matters.
Playoffs are for the sheep.
Well, when Central Florida said they were national champions.
Yeah. I don't need 20 games to decide who the best team is. We did it in 17.
We won 5 straight. Joe Burrow is my MVP. Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. Trey Henderson, Defensive Player of the Year. And we are Super Bowl champions of the regular season now at 9-8.
Yeah. Hang the banner. Fuck it.
Hang the banner.
Yeah.
And we beat the Steelers, who beat someone else, which means we're better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have beat the
Transitivity.
Ravens twice. We should have beat the Ravens twice. We beat the Browns twice.
That's the thing. We're going to look back on this season because most likely we're not getting to the playoffs. Yes, there's a shot. We need the Jets
Shut
to
your
win.
mouth.
We need the Chiefs to win. I know there's a shot. It'd be great if it happens. Probably not happening. So I'm just saying we're going to look back on this season of not getting in. One more win. Chargers, Ravens twice. Patriots first game. The Chiefs, the terrible call on 4th and 17 or whatever it was. Terrible call by the refs.
They showed a replay of that tonight too.
Yes, I know. I
It
was
looked
like,
even
man.
worse. It looked even worse.
I was like, that looks clean.
Yeah, the
as can
replay
be.
looked bad today.
Yeah.
That looked like great coverage. And then if you remember,
They
like
both
the next
jumped
week,
at the same fucking time.
the next week, the Ravens, or it wasn't the Ravens, but the next week the Chiefs played, and whoever was the defensive back, they take a shot for the end zone, and he's all over him, not looking for the ball or nothing. And no call against the Chiefs. Obvious passing interference. No call. That sticks in my brain a lot. It hurts my heart.
Hey, what do you guys think of Hayward though? I didn't know much about the kid.
Shaka Hayward, who
I
is
feel like
Cam
he had a
Hayward's
really
cousin.
pretty good, strong game today.
Yeah, undrafted free agent from Duke.
Where did he go to college at?
Duke.
Though?
Duke. He was an undrafted kid out of Duke. I liked him coming out of Duke undrafted. I said, this kid has a chance to stick. He might be on the practice squad for a while, and then he might start earning some playing time. Man, this is another sometimes you got to suck your own dick moment, little chop.
Yeah.
And
Hell
Shaka
yeah.
Hayward,
Me
I
and my
really
buddy
liked it.
was
He went
talking-
out there and played good, and I
He
think
did.
He should be. He will likely be on the 53 next year as a special teams guy that could earn snaps. And an injury happens.
Absolutely.
Yep. Great.
Well,
I like it. I'm glad he's here.
And,
Now-
and
now
did
that
you
there's
guys
been a-
did you guys notice during the game Troy Aikman was pretty much sucking Cody Ford's dick the whole game? I don't know if you caught on. to
Yeah.
that.
I
Well,
did.
he
It was
literally
kinda
said,
weird.
like, he said, I got to stop, man. His family is just,
Yeah,
like, he's
yeah.
talking about him again.
Like, damn, bro. Like, I mean, he's doing decent, but Jesus.
You got to.
But his responsibilities, I mean, he has been left tackle, right tackle, guard.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I
yeah.
mean, and he's outperformed what I think. I mean, he was somebody we probably really didn't want the beginning of the season to be on the team.
Yeah.
much
And all
rather
why that Tiana bitch has been dragging his name through the mud, having a birthday party on his birthday last weekend. Joke's on you, bitch. Leave my man Cody Ford alone.
I feel like. Do you guys feel like we need to probably re-sign him though, just for like a swing tackle type deal?
You
You
need
can never have too many of those guys, is my opinion. You can
Yeah.
never have too many guys that can play guard and both guard spots, both tackle spots. Same Tori.
As someone that didn't want him at all going into
Same.
the year,
Same.
in the situation we've been, which is call it what it is, fucked on the offensive line, he has filled in wherever he's been. He's played hurt. He did pretty damn well tonight against the limited time he had against TJ Watt. I mean, I respect what he's done more than I have the production, if that makes sense. And you
Totally.
need guys like that can come in a pinch. So I think he's definitely he's earned the emergency swing role. I mean, you got to have he can play 4 spots and he can do it at any given moment. That's incredibly valuable. Whether it's playing at like a C level or not, you need to have that kind of guy.
hell, going in the Super Bowl, we would have loved to see level offensive line.
Yeah, you probably. I'm not going to say you win the Super Bowl if you have Cody Ford. 'cause
No,
that's
you
a
win the
stretch.
Super Bowl with Cody Ford. This is how far we've come, Santori.
I agree. We would have won the Super Bowl with Cody
the
Ford.
Super Bowl.
The hot take of the night. If we had Cody Ford back then, we win the Super Bowl.
I mean, there's at least 1 or 2 pressures that probably don't happen.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's all we needed.
That'd be 2 Super
A
Bowls in
millisecond.
4 years. Super Bowl this year and the actual Super Bowl.
Yeah, not the
What
most
a season
talented
that'd
guy.
be.
And Ford is not the most talented guy, and he's not the biggest guy when it comes to playing tackle. I actually almost think he plays tackle better than he plays guard, but I liked him at left guard when he's in between Karras and Brown. And that's where I was in the first half. Well, honestly, still was. I would have never had Volson in there. I would have done Slid, Ford,
God, after he
and I
gets
would have
lit
had
up.
I would have had Cochran in at right tackle, assuming, Men's came in for a series, but
Well, and
Obviously,
that's
I would
the
have
other
Mims,
thing. That's the other thing about Ford is worst case scenario, he's my number 2 guard at either spot next year, and I think I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with whatever with Cody Ford. I re-sign him. Obviously, it's not, and he's not a break the bank guy. Shit, he's like what, 27,
No,
28.
he's like a
old.
vet mim, 1 or 2 mil guy. He's not going to hurt.
Two, three. I'm comfortable if they give him $3 million. I don't care. Cody Ford, for what you've done this season, you can have an extra $1 million, my brother.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. You get.
I'll always have respect for guys that are gutting it out at the end of the year when there's not much chance.
That part.
Hey, what about Orlando Brown with a broken fibia?
Yeah, him too. He's got 2 breaks in his fibia.
How crazy, man.
He's got broken legs that are being fused together, and he's out there trying to do everything he can to help win a game.
And playing good. It's not like he played bad.
No, he pitched a shutout last week on a broken leg.
And I feel like he pretty much did again.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see Highsmith do too much.
Nothing.
They're flying him to South America every week, shooting up with stem cells and flying him back.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Shit.
Hey, when you break something too, you get calcium buildup. So he's just making that bone stronger right now, playing on it.
There you go.
Boom. So Orlando Brown Jr. is going to be a fucking beast again next year. You heard it here first. And go Walter Payton Man of the Year. I hope he wins that. Why not?
You know what was awesome about watching this game tonight? You can tell the doubt in the Steelers fans that they know this team's going to be one and done. They were not like early into the game. Until,
they were booing.
They were so ready to boo. And when
I'll
they
say
did
this, though. When they came back from commercial and Renegade was going and the towels were going, I looked at my dad and I was like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Now.
I was the same. But yeah, it was just like you could see that they like the looks on the fans' faces. Like, you know, when you're a fan of a team and you just know like we're not going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
I've lived that for like 30 years. So
yes, we all know that very, very well.
That's actually my life story of a fan.
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck. But yeah, it's just I don't know. They're just what a gritty. I mean, you got to love the AFC North and the cold, seeing the breath out of the face mask. I mean, I love December football. It's my favorite.
I'm about as critical as the coaching staff as it comes, but I do need to give flowers when flowers are deserved. One, they held the Steelers to under 200 yards of total offense tonight, which is a ridiculously low number, regardless of who you're playing and how bad of a run they're on.
Yeah.
And I know the last 5 weeks, majority, and when I say majority, like 90% of it was Joe Burrow. This team could have easily packed it in at 4-8, and they didn't. You don't have that unless you've got a staff keeping them going.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Lou. I'm really not a huge fan of Zach, but credit is deserved where it's deserved.
Stat of the day. Broncos have won one game in the last 18 meetings against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's do it. Fuck them.
Why not?
Chris Harry's going to lead the charge.
Carson Wentz. Let's go.
Let's do it.
2 broken ankles.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, charity of your choice. Bengals fans will show up and show out. Somebody be tagging him and letting him know, let his family members know. If this man loves charity, you know, if he loves being a decent human being, he better go out there and win that game. Just saying.
I just want what the Bills had with their Tyler Boyd moment like 7 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, we were owed one, right?
I want to see that moment. I want to see it where, you know, one of the games is over and it's coming down and, you know, maybe it's Rodgers hitting, you know, a seam route for the win or Butker hitting a field goal for the win or whatever it ends up being. And then there's a separate feed and it's split screen and you just see Burrow and Chase or whoever in the locker room. They're just jumping up and down at the TV because they're watching. And I want that moment. I know that's an oddly specific, weird moment, but that's kind of where we're at.
We won't get them in the locker room because they're not playing tomorrow. It won't be the.
No, but they may still be at the stadium watching.
Yeah.
I know that's an oddly specific, weird moment, but that's kind of where this season's at right now.
Well, they've been replaying the hell out of that, by the way. on social media and everywhere.
I know they do.
Yeah, that Bills moment.
I'm surprised ESPN doesn't try to do like you know how in the draft when a player gets drafted, like they have the camera in their living room, like have a camera on Burrow all day as he's watching the game.
Yeah, Burrow would not allow that.
I know.
We just have an entire ESPN crew in Joe Burrow's ransacked living room.
Yeah. He's too busy.
God, he'd be so uncomfortable. He'd leave. He's all right. See you later.
He's too busy.
5 minutes.
He's too busy dicking down Victoria's Secret models.
Is he still with the Sports Illustrated model?
Joe Burrow can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that might be just a thing. She's like a lesbian too. It's interesting.
Pretty badass, actually.
Yeah.
She just works for him, guys. Come on.
Yeah. There was a tweet that was funny, like, "Oh, Joe Burrow, you're so cool. You just rip apart defenses. You have a Victoria's Secret's bisexual like house sitter or something like that." It's so funny. Somebody tweeted it.
Oh, look at me. I'm Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a Batmobile, so.
Santori, so we were talking coaches, and I know you don't want to do this. Hey, shout out Will tagging me in a tweet to Wentz. Yeah.
Let's do it. What are we doing?
Frank Pollock. You know, Lou and Frank. I mean, you kind of said, like, I just say unless it's an upgrade, I'm okay with bringing Frank back now, or Lou back. I didn't think I'd say that, but I think Frank Pollock needs to go on the offensive
I think
line.
they still both need to go.
That's
personally.
fair. Okay. Elaborate.
I understand that there has been some growth in the defense over the last 5 weeks. I don't want that to fall upon deaf ears, but at the same time, I'm watching this game, and the defense had controlled the game, majority of the game. And around middle of the third quarter, early fourth quarter, they went from having disguised defenses, rolling safeties, blitzing, stunts, rotating packages, everything that Lou had been known for and being creative over the last 3 or 4 years, to going back to a base defense in a too high shell. And they gave everything up right away and then put themselves in a position where they had to have it. For whatever reason, Lou does not know how to have his foot on someone's throat and just step down. He takes his foot off the gas.
Would you say that the fact that the Steelers went up tempo, it kind of hampered all those disguises? Because I know
I'm sure it does to a degree. It's definitely a game of chess. Don't get me wrong. But they didn't even try to apply pressure. They just went with 4-man fronts, the too high shell the entire time.
Yeah.
Even when the Bengals were going up tempo, the Steelers were still doing shit to get home. Now, granted, our line is a significantly different story, and I understand that, but you can't just sit there and let someone dink and dunk you down the field either. Your season's over in the next 10 minutes if you don't get your shit together and you took your foot off the gas. I cannot stand that. I was disgusted.
So, Tori, was that touchdown to Firemouth, was Fig supposed to switch off of his route and cover that third? Was that
I would have to see it again. I'll be honest.
Because Battle was matched up with them, and then he ran like an out, and the receiver ran a slant, but it looked like they were playing thirds. And
that's the other thing. I don't know what coverage they were in. I don't know if they were in quarters. I don't know if they were in, a cover 2 that drops into quarters. I don't know if they were in, they could have been in cover 3. They could have been cover 6. I really would have to see the all 22 on it.
Right.
I would say it was probably, Fig was passing someone off and didn't get back to where he was supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in zone, because that's what it was, and an entire quadrant of the field is left wide open, it kind of falls on the nearest guy.
Yeah. Because it looked like Battle thought that he would go, like, peel off of the slant route and go out to the out, that Firemouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Will said the TD said they were in quarters.
Quarters, yeah.
Well, then he had no reason to be drifting away from that side of the field. You got to get deep, but you only have – you really don't even have that much. It's not even hash to sideline. It's like 2/3 of the way to the hash to sideline.
All
Yeah.
right, switch over to Frank Pollock. I know you said him as well you would let go. I'm in that camp that I'd be okay either way with Lou. They get rid of him, they better upgrade it. Is now my opinion on Lou. O-line coach, it's not about if you get rid of him, upgrade. I think that you have to get rid of Frank Pollock at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been what? Joe's in his 6th year, right? 6th?
Something like that. He's had a lot of injuries, so.
Fifth year. He's 28 now.
Jesus Christ, they're
Yeah.
they're running out of time with him.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Frank's been back 4+ years now, and the shit's almost getting worse.
Guard play is definitely abysmal.
Yeah, I mean, it's. It looks like Mims is going to work out, bearing health, which has kind of always been his thing, was availability.
Yeah.
Kappa's done nothing. Volson has regressed. Karras was as advertised. Orlando Brown was as advertised. If they don't go out and get somebody that's already established or a high-level prospect, it doesn't work. There's no development of anybody underneath. And that's what a coach's job is to get people developed and fit a scheme and do those things. And unless you give Frank a gem, it just doesn't work.
So he's got to go, right?
Yeah, I know Jim Turner was an asshole, but it's not much better than Jim Turner.
I know.
He was awful.
Funny. Jim Turner, the offensive line played okay towards the end of the year. That 1 year, for real. You look at
the only thing that we really had to hang our hat on with Pollock was that Billy Price kind of liked him, and I don't really know how far that takes it.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for all you guys. You guys know more ball than me, but I follow it all the time. Played high school, coached. What do you think if say we missed the playoffs and we're in the 16 to 17, 18th draft? Where are we going? We getting a safety? We getting a interior? Who's out there?
Dale, can I just use the answer I use every single time for this question?
Well, are you going to say best player available?
No, it depends what you do in free agency.
Right? Yeah, well, that too.
It's the draft is. In order to have that conversation, you kind of have to assume that the state of your roster is in what it's currently in, which is a weird conversation before free agency. But assuming you have the same holes, which would be an absolute nightmare, I would probably go interior offensive line or interior defensive line. I think the pass rush is getting better. If you're able to retain Osai,
that's key. That'll be a key. Yeah.
Whatever's going on between the four-man rotation of
Trey's
Trey,
happy too.
Right. I mean, whatever's going on with Trey, Osai, B.J. Hill, and Murphy, when those four are out there on third down, that pass rush unit is, quite frankly, it's getting home and having moderate success right now. They're not great, but if they'd have had this level of pass rush success over the first 8 weeks, we wouldn't be in this spot right now. And I hate saying that, but Hubbard killed him for the longest time. He really did. So I'm not super worried about pass rush at the moment. They still need to upgrade it, but if you retain Osai, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Interior defensive line has
What do we
been
do
better.
with Mike Hilton? What do we do with Mike Hilton?
I would bring him back as a package specialist, but I can't bring him back as a starting nickel because he can't cover downfield.
Right.
I agree.
I love him as a blitz. I love him in run game. I love his leadership if he's
too.
A man.
I love his leadership too.
He's one of those guys that I'd love to have around, and I think he's incredibly impactful for certain packages. If he's playing anything more than 20 snaps a game, though, you're going to cost yourself in detriment from coverage.
Chris says, does Pollock get credit for turning Billy Price into B.J. Hill then? That's just a funny comment that I couldn't go away from. Dusty, you still with us up there, brother?
Yeah, I'm still here, man.
Where do you think we go? It's very early, free agency. I think that is important. But as of right now, and knowing how the Bengals are, and knowing that a lot of our attention and money could go toward Chase, Higgins, and Trey in free agency. So where do you go in the draft in the first round was Trevor's question.
So,
Right now.
what's your feeling on like somebody like Ibuka from Ohio State, wide receiver? If you don't retain T. Higgins, wide receiver is kind of that's going to be a very sneaky need. Even re-signing Jamar Chase, like we see what their offense looks like. I think at this point, most people are on board with T. Higgins staying here.
Can I throw in a caveat to this conversation to make it a little bit easier? I think
T's back.
let's pretend the roster is what it is today, and you can add let's say the draft is tomorrow, and your current roster is what you have. All the same players are here.
Biggest need right now. Where would you go right now? That's fair. That's fair because we don't know who they'll retain, who they'll add.
Right. So let's pretend that the roster is set at the moment go from there with the draft tomorrow.
Can I add
That's
another?
pretty easy. I'm going best player available, or I'm going with guard. Positions of need: guard, interior defensive tackle, pass rush.
Okay.
We have quarterbacks that are injured right now. So we got DJ Turner, DJ Ivy's played some ball. You have what's the one? Dejon Anthony. So I think sneakily our secondary could get by, and we could get a defensive tackle or some sort of pass rush or even a guard.
Now
that's
Dax Hill flashed too. So secondary wise, Dax Hill flashed.
Yeah, and then DJ Turner, those guys will be back next year. So you kind of with this current team, I don't know if I would be looking there unless there's somebody that's the guy. He's there. He's best player available, and it makes sense. But I'm going trenches. I think I'm going trenches a lot.
Could I add another caveat to
because it's you now.
It's all hypothetical
anyway. Caveat and where you'd go with your caveat.
I'm just looking at the free agency class for 2025, and it's pathetic. There's
it's not very strong.
No, it's not strong at all. So
Never is because good teams don't let good players leave.
And it's more and more of that these days with the figure option. And then, that's pretty fun. T. Higgins is number one, obviously. Trey Smith, number two. I mean, Javon Holland for the Dolphins. Do you think they'll wrap him up?
I have a feeling they might end up keeping Geno Stone.
Oh, the Bengals. Yeah, he's talking about the Dolphins keeping Holland. And if
that's
another caveat, right? If the Bengals keep Geno Stone, they're not in the safety market.
Yeah.
If they release Geno Stone, I think the Bengals are fully in the safety market again.
I can see the Bengals drafting Banks or Williams from Texas and moving him to guard or some shit.
I would be okay with that, especially we're picking, because Trevor's whole question was we're picking 16th, 17th in this scenario.
Just give me Tyler Booker.
Yes. See, that's
him.
I'm not guard in the first. It seems like a reach, but Tyler Booker is a nasty, mean motherfucker at guard. And he's 6'5", and he has kicked out to left tackle as well in a pinch for Alabama. Guys like that are important. I'm not taking Donovan Jackson, even though I'm a Buckeye homer, Crypt Keeper. We know this, right, Crypt Keeper? Right? I know you're going to say something.
I haven't watched much of Jackson, but I wasn't a fan of what I saw.
Oh, I like him at left guard, but what he's done at left tackle has been nothing short of incredible, not having played it since high school. And he's been 4 years at Ohio State now.
See, I didn't realize that, so I have to go back and watch it with a grain of salt.
Do you think Kenneth Grant's too rich for 16?
Hell no.
No,
and he's a big body, and you're going to stop the run. But he's surprising pass rush juice for a guy that's what is he, 6'3", 340? That's a big boy.
Dude. 15, 16 always feels like no man's land, though.
That's what I'm thinking. Trading back could be a nice spot to trade back a little bit, depending on how the board falls.
I totally agree.
Well, especially because you only have 6 draft picks, and you've got so much damage you got to do with rebuilding parts of this team.
I think the trade back comes in. I think the trade back comes in the second potentially, but maybe in the first, depending who's off the board. That's always relevant too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be the first round, but I would be shocked if they didn't trade back at least once in this draft.
Well, remember the Cordy Glenn? Yeah, I think that was when. Was that when we got? What was that dude from Ohio State, the center?
Billy Price.
Billy Price. Was that the same year?
We got robbed by Frank Ragnow going.
Exactly. But did we trade? Was that the draft we traded back and we got Cordy Glenn and then we took Billy Price?
Yeah. We traded. We traded back and we got Cordy Glenn and Billy Price.
Right.
By trading back.
But
hey guys, was that Marvin's last pick or was that? I think that was Zach's first pick, right? Billy
No,
Price?
that was the Marvin era. Zach's first draft.
That was his last pick. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Zach's first draft was Jonah Hill and Jermaine Pratt and Drew Sample.
And then Drew Sample, yes.
And he was very late coming in, and so was his entire staff because he was with the Rams, right?
Yeah. Zach, I'm pretty sure, did that draft by just throwing shit at a dartboard. And like, looks good, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah. The problem with this year's draft, there's not enough quarterbacks and wide receivers to push the board down. This draft,
you're also not picking at 25 or 31 this year. You know, so you don't need to push as far.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, because there's maybe two quarterbacks. I know Jalen Milroe declared from Alabama, but I'm not so sure he goes. He definitely don't go before the Bengals pick, in my opinion. But I could see a team taking him at 32.
Where do you think Cam Ward's going to go?
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending who has the pick ultimately, because right now, like if New England has the pick, New England's not taking a quarterback. They got Drake May. If New England sticks and picks at 1, I think they're picking Travis Hunter.
Who do you guys think will have a better NFL career, Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward?
Cam Ward.
Yeah, I go with that too.
It always sounds like a cop-out, and I say this every year in these conversations.
Depends where they go, the situation.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
true. If Patrick Mahomes lands in Cincinnati instead of Joe Burrow, I don't think you have the same Patrick Mahomes right now. If Joe Burrow lands in Kansas City, I don't even want to think about what they're doing right now. It's everything depends, especially when it comes to a quarterback.
Let's say Patrick Mahomes lands. Let's say Patrick Mahomes lands with the Giants, or Joe Burrow lands with
the Dolphins.
Just what I'm.
Yeah.
For most quarterbacks getting drafted in the first round, I believe most of them have the ability to be Pro Bowl quarterbacks and lead their team to do whatever they need to do. But I think so much of it depends on what head coach they get paired with.
Yeah.
There are very, very few guys like Joe Burrow who can take an abysmal organization and just drag them to success. That does not happen very frequently.
That's why he's the MVP, but there's going to be he probably won't get it.
He probably won't.
I think
he's
okay
another
with
conversation.
That too. But I think he's okay with that too. Like he gets it. He's like, I'll win it when my team is better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think if you ask Joe right now, would you rather have the extra win and be in the playoffs, or would you have MVP? He'd say, "Give me the extra win."
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody would say that. That's a true competitor, and Joe's a competitor, so that's kind of silly.
He knows he'll win MVP eventually too. But
if they ever put that kid on the Madden cover, he's going to snap in half or explode.
Come on,
he already gets hit too much.
Yeah, he's got hit. He's got to hit a lot this year. So
that curse isn't real.
Bullshit. That curse is super real.
You just don't want to. You don't want to take the chance.
I 100% believe in that curse.
I mean, Mahomes been on that thing 2 times. He's got 3 Super Bowls?
And he's always got a fake sprained ankle to go with it.
Mahomes has regressed the last 3 years. I mean, he stepped up in the playoffs, but as far as down to down,
well, I mean,
3 years ago they were talking about the Chiefs can't figure out the cover too.
I think Mahomes is still the same quarterback, but his run game has taken a hit. Kelsey's not what he was, and his receivers are remarkably inconsistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and his O-line, remember the Chiefs, I know their interior O-line is elite. Their tackle play
the
last 2 or 3 years is atrocious.
Yeah, he's gotten hit a lot this year.
Kind of coincides with Orlando Brown, who they were like, he's not that good. Y'all got a bum. Are you kidding me?
What do you guys think about Scatabo? Now, I've heard Dale
Love
what
him.
he said.
Love him.
I know, Dale, you know way more football than me, especially when it comes to college draft picks. I feel like that guy might move himself up to a second-round guy. You guys get or agree or disagree with that? Or
I haven't watched him enough to have an opinion. The small amount that I've seen on him, I mean, I hate saying it looks like your stereotypical fired up white guy at running back. He kind of
I
gives me
agree.
Toby Gerhart vibes.
Yes.
No,
yes.
he's better than him. Way better than him. Now it's blasphemy. No, call blasphemy on that.
I just
Fine.
don't like how everybody compares him to all the white running backs.
know.
He reminds me of other
It's
running
so
backs.
easy to comp him to a white running back.
I
though.
know. The Brian Leonards of the world.
Yeah, but he's not. And the one guy, what was the one guy's name from Cleveland years ago that was on the Madden cover?
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis, yeah. And I
From
don't see that in
and
him.
Dale,
He
feel
runs
free
different.
to correct me, but he seems like he's got a lot more shake and bake than those guys.
Yeah. Contact balance is special. And I know those guys had it too. But
Well, those guys were just trucks.
his contact balance is insane.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty, the reason he's a first-round pick is his contact balance. They're both really good receivers. I'm going to move him up to day 2. Like I said, I was late getting on the Scattaboo bandwagon. And I had him, when I inserted him into the draft guide, he's like a 5th-round guy. That's just
At least 10% of it's because his name is fun to say, though.
No, it's actually not. Like, no, the name's fun to say, yes. But, like, I honestly was like 5th-round pick because he's white. Because the Toby Gerharts of the world. Because the Peyton Hillises of the world. Because the Brian Leonards of the world. Who's the other Bengal white running back I'm missing?
Brian Leonard.
Don't forget Rex Burkhead, baby.
Rex Burkhead. That's the one.
Burkhead.
Wasn't Brian
goat.
Leonard, though, also?
And Burkhead went in like the 6th round, right?
You know, he ended up having like a 12-year career or 13 or something.
My favorite thing about Rex Burkhead is when we had to start him at wide receiver in the playoff game
Yeah.
against the Colts.
I remember that. God damn.
I don't
Well,
even
then Burkhead-
remember. Oh,
Everybody was out.
Didn't Burkhead go to New England and have almost 1,000-yard season?
Yeah, he was a stud. Then he went to the
That's
Texans
what I
after
thought.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a stud.
That's what I'm saying. Burkhead was and he was good here. He was just a 6th-round pick, you know? So that was my initial thoughts with this Scattaboo kid. I'm like, all right, it's another one of these. I'm sorry, I can't help it. He's not Christian McCaffrey. He's
what?
not. But he's also not Rex Burkhead. You know what I mean? He's somewhere in between those things. And so I'm already like, I think I'm going to land around the 3rd round ultimately on him. With still a lot more to watch. But, man, what he did in that playoff game was special. And what he does as a receiver and just his heart and his will is special.
Yeah, I mean,
If he went in the 2nd, wouldn't be shocked, Trevor. No.
he's going to end up in a Steelers uniform, isn't
But
he?
it's the running back value that I think, I think he's a 3rd, 4th-round pick because of the value of running backs.
I totally agree with you. I just, after watching the game you're talking about, like, he literally willed his team to almost win that game, and they should
They had
have
it
won.
won. They had it
I
won.
know.
They shit the bed in overtime.
Well, watch Will Shipley, Duke and Clemson.
I forgot he
That's another
exists.
running.
How's he
this
doing
team.
this year?
I don't think he did hardly anything. I think he was injured a lot, but he's with what? Is he with the Eagles? He went to a good situation, and I think he'll eventually do something. But
Well, if he's
he is
behind Saquon, he ain't doing shit.
well, he is very thin. He's very thin. He's fragile.
He wasn't a second round running back either.
He's fragile.
It's Italian.
Hey, speaking of the Eagles, you know who went there?
Fred.
Mekhi Becton, who's a
Yeah,
pretty
he
solid guard. They got
And
paid
for
less than $3 million this year. Who's his PFF is like in the 70s. So
Yeah.
this dude, it would have been nice to bring him and Trent Brown, both of them. Like, why not for a few $1 million?
And he would have.
Dante Scarnecchi doing anything?
Didn't Becton take a trip to Cincinnati though to meet with them?
Yes, and
Yeah.
Pollock was the O-line coach when he got drafted in the top 12
That's
for
what
the
I thought.
Jets. But it's about moving him to guard, and
that's what he
another one of
played
those
at.
injury guys, Yeah,
Yeah.
this year he played at guard. He was a tackle though before, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, hindsight's everything, but for less than $3 million.
It's cool to see. He was like shedding some tears when he came off the field their last game. So it's cool to see, like, I root for players, so it was cool to see him like have a good year.
Well, he's been through the ringer, and I don't think that. And once again, I don't think the Eagles let him. I know he was only on a 1-year deal; he can go wherever, but I don't think the Eagles will let him leave.
Yeah, probably not.
I just don't. I think they'll be like, "Hey, let's work something out," and I think he'll want to be there. That's a very good line that he plays with too.
Yeah. Yep.
How do I get one of those?
I know.
Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, future Hall of Famer. They replaced Kelsey with who's playing center? Come on now.
He was a rookie draft pick, or the rookie from last
2
year.
years. Cam Jurgens.
Yeah.
And then the left guard was a center at Bama, and then moved to left guard, and he's been fantastic.
And then we seen Quinn Perez push Jenkins into oblivion. Yes. Yeah. God damn. You're watching a lot Pooney for the 49ers.
Yeah.
He's playing good.
Did you guys see that rep where Volson got freaking forklifted straight back today?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He looks so overmatched. It's like crazy.
They showed it 3 times, and Troy Aikman was like coming in his pants about it, like, "Oh my God, look what he did to Cordell Volson." I'm like, "It's pretty bad."
He's starting. You can tell though he's like a player that has no confidence anymore too, since he got benched. Sometimes players like take to benching and turn it around. It seems like
he's definitely someone that's more talented than what his production is. Because he used to be like, maybe this guy will get close to average if he gets a little better, was kind of the feeling.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, he's like the worst guard in football now.
Yeah.
And Alex Kappa as well. Both of them. Two of the worst guards in football.
Kappa's
Zach Frazier would have been a cool pick last year.
Yeah, that would have been very awkward at the Midwest Best Barbecue. Ted just had popped in, Ted Karras. And you could tell he was nervous about it. Like, not to go too much pill layers back, but, that they were going to take potentially like a Zach Frazier.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't get his 1-year extension if that happens. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah. We're going to be able to look back on that night and be like, one of the best moments is when they took Jermaine Burton and you and I were like, shit.
Houday Joe looked at me and he's like, Dell, what do you think? And I said, I hate it. I said, I hate it.
Dude, they announced Jermaine Burton. I yelled, fuck, and punched the table. And my wife was like, is that not good? I was like, no, not good.
That's not a good fuck. That's not a fuck yeah. That was a fuck.
Isn't it funny how like how things work itself out? Like we could have used them tonight because we were down. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like Yoshi gives us nothing when he's like T's not out there. So it was like Burrow really had nobody to go to besides Chase and Gilsicki, and you could just tell.
Hey,
it's like, oh, we could have used you tonight, and you decided to do whatever you did this week. Who knows?
Well, what's funny is before T got knocked out, it was like the opening kickoff was returned okay. Like I think the guy got to the 25, and I was like, all right, we've aptly replaced Jermaine Burton already. No problem at all here.
Yeah.
Dusty, did you have something? I thought Dusty was popping in.
Yeah, I was just going to say when Dustin was saying something about Mike Gesicki, I was just going to bring it. It was going to be a total different conversation though about what we think Gesicki's kind of worth and keep him around, because I think I like Mike Gesicki. I really do.
I do too. I think he's earned that. We definitely want to keep him. I think he'll want to stay here. Like I know a lot of it's like this is his last chance to get a bag. We've seen him with. He should talk to Hayden Hurst.
I mean, Hayden got hurt, so
He's playing this year, but
Hayden Hurst wish he signed back here.
I'm sure he did. I would rather had Hayden Hurst the way Hayden was playing and just his energy. I would take Hayden Hurst over Mike Gesicki, because I feel like he was just a little more hard nosed.
But he took the bag, and then he gets cut, and then he's with the Chargers, and he's also been a little hurt, which has always been a part of his career story too. I have nothing but love for Hayden Hurst. I'm just saying, if Hayden Hurst had to do it all over again, I don't think he takes that back from Carolina. I think he stays in Cincinnati for half the money. Even I think he'd stay.
And it wasn't even crazy. I think he got $8 million, like. There might have been $16 million for 2 years or something like that.
I was going to say, he got a pretty decent bag. Him and Von Bell both.
then he got let go after the first year.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
think?
Still
got a good bag, but with Gesicki and the value, I think that's a great question, Dusty, because I'm 100% to start with on board keeping him. Now, the money is always what matters, but I don't know.
How old is Mike? Is he 30?
Yeah, he's 28, 29. And it's got to be 29.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's
Somebody
29.
Look that up.
30. But regardless, he's still playing some good ball.
He's excellent. He's been excellent the last 2 weeks, but he's been excellent all season.
Yeah. What do you guys think just around the horn? Price tag in how many years? Are we looking at a 2-year contract?
I'll start because I got to check on my dog. I got to check on my dog. And then we'll go down to Santori, to Trevor, back to Dustin, and then back to you, Dusty. But I'll just say I would gladly give him 2 years, $8 million. What did he get this year? 3.5? Last year, like 3. I'd gladly give him 2 years, $8 million. And if I had to negotiate and say, okay, we'll put some incentives in there that you can get it to 9 or 10, I think I'd do that too. That's where
Are you saying 8 a year or 8 total?
8 total.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. But I'd go up to 5 a year to 10 with incentives to get there.
I'm concerned someone's going to try and offer him a good chunk of money for 2 years. I would gladly take him back for 4 or 5 million a year, but I just feel like someone's going to see what he was able to do with Joe, and they may offer him 6 or 7 a year for 2 or 3 years. Because that's kind of the market for tight ends.
Yeah, so the average NFL tight end is about 10 million. Probably like the ones that get paid.
Now,
so
I don't think he's worth 10.
Yeah,
because that's typically closer to the upper echelon of tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: if it's a situation where he was in Miami like 4 years ago, where they didn't have Jalen Waddle and he was truly the number 2. Maybe he's a year younger and he didn't have the lapse in production for the 1 or 2 years that he did. Yeah, 100%. He'd be a $10 million guy because I think that talent and contribution level is there. In Cincinnati, he's the number 4 passing option in this offense because Chase Brown's going to get a lot of touches out of the pass game. T's there. Jamar's there. How much are you willing to pay your number 4 option? And I think you kind of have to cap that at 5 or so.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you guys. I can, what Dusty said, 8 to 10. I feel like if we don't pay him 8 to 10, he's not going to stick around. But like Santori said, I think realistic for Cincinnati, knowing Mike Brown and the family, it'd be more the 4 to 7 range.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
If he hits free agency, do you let him dangle out there just to see what kind of offers he gets? Like, what do you think he's going to get on the market?
Probably 8 to 10, like you just said.
I think that would be the high end, but I could see there's always a team like Jacksonville who's willing to back the truck up for a guy like Christian Kirk when they don't need to.
Yeah, God, there's always those shitty teams that ruin it.
Like the Giants or somebody.
Okay, Gesicki, let's say open market, 2 years, $12 million.
Mm.
I would do that.
He comes back to the Bengals and he says, "Here's my open market. I've got an offer for 2 years, $12 million. Will you match so I can stay?"
I would say yes.
He's a 700-yard receiver. Like, he's nearly got 700 yards, 70 receptions this year. He's going to grow rapport with Joe. That's what the Bengals are known for. We're a passing team first. Upgrade your guards. Hopefully we can draft well. Get Jamar, and Mike Gesicki back there for $6 million. That's kind of where I'd cap out. Like $12 million for 2 years would be my cap, but I would do that.
And maybe you say we do it, but you got to earn $3 million of that, $4 million of that in incentives on numbers and playoff appearances, Super Bowl appearance, $1 million. All right,
Yeah,
Santori, you're more of a cap guy, so how do I make that work?
It's just built into incentivized bonuses, things that are considered likely to be earned. So you just incentivize like he had tonight, where he needed a couple receptions to get that like extra $100,000 or $1 million or whatever it was. Because guys like Gesicki, they do have a history of being a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes there's injuries. It is what it is. So you give them a decent little signing bonus to show promise. You give them an okay salary, but then you've got to heavily incentivize the rest of it. And I think, quite frankly, not to change the subject, but that's the direction they're going to have to go with T. Higgins. He misses so much time, you're going to have to give him roster and per game bonuses too.
Yeah. So, Tori, I don't know if you saw this, but since you're really good at the salary cap, that they said the projection between T, Chase, and I think Burrow, it's like 120 million annual number. And I forget what the total salary cap is, but it leaves us with, I don't know, whatever that is left over. So it's like, what do you do with Trey? What do you do with Mike? Do we want to sign him?
You got to remember that the times that they're going to show that number at 130, 120, whatever they pump out there. Joe's cap hit next year is truly about, I think it's 46, something like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So in extensions, oftentimes the cap hit is very low year one. Even if it's an average annual value for Jamar of 40 and an average annual value of T for 30, they're not getting 70 year one. They might get 20 and 18. So you got 46, 20, 18. I mean, whatever that breaks out to, it's really about closer to 80, 85 million as opposed to 120. And they have about $100 million in cap space. And Joe's already accounted for in that. And Jamar's already accounted for in that, because a lot of times the fifth-year options, the first year of that extension, the cap doesn't change much. So if you can find 18 of the 100 for T, that's really all it changes your cap allotment.
Right.
And also, let's think of Rankins and Hubbard. Like, what are we going to do with those deals?
Guys.
Like, you have Geno Stones. Like, there's people that are going to be cut, or they should be cut.
Yeah, that's what he was saying with like a projected of like 100 million in extra cap space, or with those cuts or something.
Oh,
right. With
sorry.
the cuts, there's a potential 100 million in cap space. My issue isn't necessarily the cap. They've got more than enough cap to do whatever the hell they want. The issue is the liquid cash that it's going to take to get, in my opinion, 3 necessary extensions done, which are Trey, T, and Jamar. Because Jamar's he's gonna basically command $100 million in cash.
Yeah,
a year. Most teams spend about 113% of the market in cash. So if your cap is, let's just for simplicity's sake say 200, that means they're going to spend 226 in the cap, right, for cash.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need you to simplify that for me.
Yeah, I got super lost when you said that, and then I sound stupid, and Dustin was like, "Nope, this is what he means." I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude, I don't know." But how much money did we have left over this year? So Mekhi Becton got not even $3 million. We had money. That's what the Bengals do, where they always roll this money. And then you had players.
I think he's talking about the guaranteed money.
A little of both. So there's 2 different dollar amounts you really have to worry about. There's cash and there's cap. Cap, you'll have about $100 million to play with. Just keep that in your head. That's an easy number. Cash is a little different because, and that's your guaranteed monies, your signing bonuses, stuff like that, right? That money gets cut day one from the team more often than not. There's some caveats to that, but for simplicity's sake, we'll say it gets cut day one. You're able to prorate that amount of money. So if Jamar Chase is guaranteed, $100 million and 50 of it's a signing bonus, right? $50 million over 5 years prorated is a $10 million cap hit. So there's a $50 million cash hit and a $10 million cap hit for the same 50. It's just depending on how all the books are aligned and how they want to transition everything financially. When you look at Jamar, he's going to have 100. When you look at T, he's probably going to get 30. So there's 130 there just for those two players. Teams typically spend more money in cash than what the salary cap is because they can kick the can down the road with how the cash gets financed and prorated out. If the cap is supposed to be about 285 next year, the Bengals will probably spend close to $320 million in cash. They have about 170 on the books already. Jamar is going to need about 100. So I'm down to about $50 million in cash, and T wants 30. So now I got to do the rest of my free agents and all of my draft class with about $25 million. It starts getting really tight.
Mhm.
That's where the issue lies. Not necessarily the salary cap. I can do salary cap gymnastics and make all of it fit, but I have to have liquid cash in order to make it work first.
Yeah.
If that
Who's
makes
this
sense.
Tyler
I know
guy
that's a very
popped on, though?
long-winded answer.
No, I think that gives perspective on people that, when you're these contracts, there's a lot that goes into it.
Let's not to interrupt the conversation, but let's the new guy, Kelly. I mean Tyler, I got a question for him, whoever the fuck Tyler is. Like George
is my mic
Pickens,
on?
6 targets, 1 catch, 0 yards. Go ahead, sir.
Zero
Can you
effort. Zero effort, too.
Zero
George
effort.
Pickens.
Can you hear me?
We have Tyler Kelly, our best Steelers fan, Tyler Kelly in the house.
Is my mic on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The Yinzer himself.
I honestly blame the complete loss on Russell Wilson. That dude's a fucking retard.
Well,
You
you're
can't say
goddamn
that.
George Pickens.
My
couldn't
fault,
catch
my
any
fault,
either.
my fault.
Everybody's been telling you that.
He's a fucking idiot.
He
I don't
sucks.
know. I don't think he sucks, but I don't know what he was thinking about not throwing the ball out of bounds or running out of bounds or where the fuck he was thinking on the final drive. The pass to George Pickens was fucking horrible. That dude burnt your fucking DBs just wide open. That would have won the game right then and there.
I'll say this for
He did hit Firemouth for the first down.
That Firemouth though pass meant nothing because if he caught that and got tackled, the game's over.
Yeah.
You have no
the
timeouts.
connection
Well,
between
it's
Wilson.
better than what it was. You have a shot, run up and spike it.
I don't think they get it
possibly.
off though. I don't think.
Yeah,
they get it.
I don't know. I don't know. I think
He
it's over
catch-
at that point.
He catches the ball
If
with like 10
Wilson and
seconds.
Pickens would have been on the same page, the Steelers would have won that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he threw it so far fucking out of bounds. I don't know.
You're
he's an
blaming it
idiot.
on Wilson, but I got to go back to this because that, honestly, man, I think George Pickens could be one of the biggest idiots in the entire NFL.
Well, so I don't
He was
blame it on
arguing with
just. I don't
fans.
blame it on just
His own
Wilson.
fans.
I also blame it partly on Tomlin. For example, Corey Trice, although this is his second year in the league, realistically, this is his rookie season. He didn't play at all last year. Why the fuck is he guarding Jamar Chase one-on-one in man coverage?
Because they were supposed to double Jamar
is a
Chase and
very
put
fair
Porter
point.
on Higgins.
But there are some calls where it's a man coverage, and we have Corey Trice on Jamar Chase. What are we thinking?
Well,
And then when T. Higgins got hurt, so T. Higgins is out of the game, right? Corey Trice is still the one covering Jamar Chase a lot of the times. Who is JPJ covering now? Our best DB isn't on your best running receiver.
I do think the Bengals were able to run some formations that got them single coverage too. Like you're able to manipulate teams out of double coverage sometimes.
I mean,
the
to be
right
fair,
spots.
too, like Joey Porter Jr. got fucking handled by T when we played him last time.
No, yeah, they're putting Porter on.
But he is still their best.
Oh, yeah, he's their best. But,
especially with Dante Jackson now.
I mean, to be honest, though, if you're playing the Bengals and you're playing T and Jamar, you're better off to put your best player on T and then double Jamar every play.
Correct.
Well, sometimes
fair,
you're
you had-
pulling-
process.
sometimes
had
the
Patrick
corners are
Queen
ones
get
isolated.
lit up by Drew Sample. So
I'd much rather lose the game to T. Higgins than lose the game to Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
if we're gonna lose, I'd rather beat anybody else than Jamar Chase, who's your
I
clear,
think you
obviously
guys
best
lost
receiver.
to Drew Sample tonight, quite frankly.
No kidding, man. Who had how many
Well,
catches
he-
did he get?
I don't
Four.
think defense.
Four for like 14 yards. My goat, Drew
At
Sample.
one point, he had 3 catches for
none of
6
their
yards, and I was
defense
surprised at it.
was lighting up Patrick Queen, man. He got rocked like straight hit stick.
Yeah. And I mean, I give credit to Joe Burrow too. That man, he was dotting us up. He get the ball out quick.
He's a goddamn machine, Kelly.
He knew where to
Machine
put it,
gun
when to
Kelly.
put it.
He's
He
the
was lighting
fucking
us up.
he's the best quarterback in the league right now, to be honest.
I am curious too. I don't know if you guys have followed any of the like Pittsburgh scene and stuff, but there is somebody on the defense right now who is costing us games, and they haven't leaked who. They haven't said who it was. Apparently, Mike Tomlin addressed the situation before this game, but there is somebody who the entire team is very pissed off right now, and I don't know who it is. But they said he's
On the
costing us
defense
games.
or
Yes,
offense?
on defense.
My
for
guess is
for
make
for
that
Tomlin
like
being such this great coach, you guys have quite a bit of
Drama.
squeaky wheels.
Yeah.
Drama, yeah. What's going on?
Monster.
Well, also a lot of that problem is your buddy. You keep talking about JPJ, but he gets a lot of penalties. So is he the one that's costing the games? I don't know. He got 6 penalties against us last game. I don't know this time.
It's someone who is either I think we have a Jermaine Burton issue right now on the team. It's just not as vocal.
Jermaine Burton.
It's somebody
You
who
want
is-
him, by the way? He might be able to help.
but not at all. But it's somebody
Jermaine's
who
not
is
costing us
who
games.
he's not, whoever it is isn't paying attention to practice, doesn't give a fuck, doesn't care about what's happening on the field, is like costing us.
Sounds just like Jermaine Burton.
He sounds like Jermaine Burton.
Yeah, I don't know.
Except
They're not
Except
leaking who
Burton's
it
not
is.
playing. Burton's
He
not
might play
Is,
wide
is this guy's
receiver.
name Jerome Burton? Maybe they're related.
Your defense is not why you lost tonight.
Start checking
I
the
think
county
So
on.
tonight, I fully blame it on Tomlin and DC, and I blame it on Russell Wilson. George
checking
Pickens
the
had
county
a
auditor.
few issues, obviously, but I think some of those passes I blame on the Colt a little bit. I mean, Jamar Chase had a drop in the end zone, in his fucking hands. So the Colt definitely doesn't help at all with passing the ball. But
All right, so you're a George Pickens apologist, is what I'm getting from this conversation.
I'm a big George Pickens fan. I love him.
No,
I
I think talent-wise, he's a top 10 talent at wide receiver.
Easily.
I don't have a problem saying that.
Top 10 in the NFL as wide receivers. A top 10 wide receiver talent.
Talent. Ability.
His
Natural
ceiling,
ability.
Pure
his ceiling
talent.
is through the
But
roof.
can I finish?
You can
Yeah,
finish. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Bro.
It is strictly he's such a head case that he's a guy that could be out of the league within a year.
I agree, but his character is getting better. I don't know if you watched. You probably didn't because it's Steelers game. But last week when we played the Chiefs, one of the reporters tried getting him on a gotcha question and said that Russell Wilson said it was your fault that you guys miscommunicated, and he ignored the question completely because he didn't want to get in trouble. Old him would have fucking said "fuck Russell Wilson" or some crazy stuff. But he's getting better now.
Because you need him to be old him. You need a diva receiver. Fuck it. Be like you were. He's getting better character, but his production's going down.
Is it production?
Throw a punch this week.
Is it production or is it our receiving core is so bad that teams are now realizing they can shut out George Pickens, and
Man,
that's it.
I think fans just want players to be these goody two shoes all the time. Nah, fuck that. Sometimes you got to be a dog.
I would rather my defensive guys be the fucking dogs, though.
Correct.
You know, I want my players going to a strip club the night before and having a cigarette.
Scoring a line of coke off some titties the night before.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, then you love.
Sounds
Burton.
like you want
that dude's
Jermaine
a
Burton
fucking
on your
diva.
team.
Yeah, you love him.
No, I think Burton just like sleeps in and doesn't go to practice.
I don't know. The rumors
so
out there,
different.
and see, I ain't tweeted none of it, and I ain't gonna say it on here. But the rumors out there, if they're true, I want him off my damn team.
I heard he's a gambling addict and he gambled all his money away.
Well, even that part, if that part is true, I don't even give a shit about that. Somebody get him a financial advisor and honestly just fucking a babysitter. But the shit I've heard is get off my fucking team shit.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it either just because this is Dale's show. If he's not going to say it, I'm not going to say it. But we've heard all the same shit.
Okay, I'll say it then. Okay, I'll say
Say
it then. Because they're rumors, and I think
It's
we
far
are not
worse than
journalists.
gambling.
We are not journalists, right? On this show, we're just
No,
fans.
we're not.
So
We're just
everybody's like,
fans.
you hear this, you hear that, and I think if this isn't true, this can destroy his reputation as a man, as a human. So I hesitate to even say it on here in that respect. So
I agree. We don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, I will start by saying with that, if it's not true, it's reckless tweeting, it's reckless conversations that are having on this man's name.
Yeah.
If he's sleeping in the meetings and this, that, and the other, and he goes and gambles,
well, let me tell you
he's got
something.
gambling debts, that's one thing. But if he is out here putting his hands on a female, that is a problem that I don't want on my team. No. So I don't know if those rumors are true, but those are the rumors.
I mean, he could be going through something too. You never know, man. This kid, the not showing up to meetings, is it like a maturity issue or is it a mental health issue? You know what I'm saying? So he could
that too.
He could be going through something. We don't know what's going on. I take the same stance with Sheldon Rankins. Everybody's like, fuck him, he didn't do shit. Man, something might be seriously wrong with that dude, you know?
Well,
I'm on the wait and see train.
I am on the okay, so I'm going to go to this, and this is way too far. It's something I never thought I'd mention on this podcast. Sindesher said it's something often lied about, to be fair. The domestic violence. It's also something that's very true that people cover up and hide. So I want to say both sides of that. But I can only speak on this one thing. When me and my wife was going to be going through our divorce, she called the cops on me because she just wanted me out of this house. And I was like, I don't have anywhere to go. Like, to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
And she called the cops on me and said that I was threatening her and I hit her. And they're like, does he have a weapon? And she's like, yeah. My kids were in the room. This was like one day after work for me. And the cops came here, man, and I'm just like, you know, I'm calling my sisters and stuff, and I'm like, I'm losing my mind of like, and my kids were pissed at her because they were like, how could you lie like that? You know, like we are right here. And I'm just saying that could have ruined my whole life. You know, had I gotten arrested, I would have lost my job. Like, and I would have got arrested off a lie.
Yeah.
So but I know that there's women that do get beat and they hide it in this, that, and the other, and then they don't get believed for whatever reason. But I can only speak on that one thing that I never thought I'd speak about. But that is, and that's why because I don't know what's going on. But if it is true, and if there's, you know, proof that there's marks on this woman, and I know some women will even do some shit but there's a lot of women that do get abused. And wow, that went way deeper than I thought. But I do agree with that is, you got to always look at both sides of everything in life. And, you know, if he is beating a woman, I want him off my fucking team.
Yeah, no doubt. No room for that. And sometimes the tough part is it's like he's 23 years old. I mean, some of the decisions I made that age were pretty whack, you know? But the problem in the NFL, it moves so fast. You got to mature faster than most people do in their lives, you know, or it's going to be gone like that. So hopefully he can get it together. But it's not trending in the right direction at the time.
Yeah. And it's just let the facts play out when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, the reckless tweeting, even mentioning it on here is the reason I didn't want to mention it, was just because, like, you know, if all that comes out, because, like, I mean, it's already out there about him being evicted and this, that, and the other. We don't know why. We don't know what's going on. Like, we know he's been late for some meetings. That's, like, out there, you know. That's all we know.
Something's probably going on, and no matter what, whether the rumor's true about the girlfriend getting hit or whatever, there's something going on inside this kid's head, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
It might be a hot take, but
to be evicted.
No, go ahead.
No, I was finished. Go ahead, Kelly.
As far as like maturity issues, might be a hot take, but I blame a lot of this on the new like NIL stuff. Like, it seems like now more often than ever, a lot of kids are coming to the NFL, and a lot of them have this maturity issue with them. And I think a part of that is the fact that they're just never told no in college. They get millions of dollars in college now.
This kid was told
NIL.
no fuck. He played for 4 high schools and 3 or 4 colleges. So he was told no quite a bunch.
Yeah, we'll just stick with when we talk about Jermaine Burton of what the things we do know, right? Because I seen somebody say something about, well, he probably don't like the Bengals coaches.
Hey, guess what? If he doesn't play for the Bengals next year, then it's every team he plays for. He's a 1-year deal.
But can you even drop him? Like, isn't he stuck with you?
You could
cut him.
You can always cut him.
Yeah.
You can always cut anybody.
I mean, to tell you the truth, if the rumors turn out to be true, they'll probably cut his ass anyway.
I think
they turn out to be true, they should.
My understanding is there's a really good possibility he's cut because I think there's a lot in the front office and the organization, just from I don't have insiders, but just just the ecosystem. There's the whole organization is just out on him now. It's just like he's not. It just keeps happening over and over again. So,
yeah, to stick to football and being late and not showing up for work.
Yeah.
In his biggest moments, he didn't show up for a walkthrough.
Yeah.
And he was being relied on that week, just to go back to that part of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if you ain't going to do that, you're really not bought in with this team. And this is not the culture we want to have.
Well, I mean, after that, it seemed like he was getting his shit together, and Joey made a comment about how he's doing a lot better and getting his shit together. And then all of a sudden, this is like, boom! Guess what? Surprise! He's not going to Pittsburgh. And then all the different tweets on X.
Well, I feel like even the players kind of spoke on it. Like, you're either going to step up and start being a professional and realize this opportunity in front of you, or you're going to be out of the league.
Yeah. And, players on the team, there's only so much you can support people. At some point, they got to make the decision for themselves,
Exactly.
So,
yeah, and 4 high schools and 2 colleges.
Yeah.
It's like at some point, man, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. Like, oh, I didn't like this coach. Oh, I didn't like this school. Oh, this situation happened. At some point, man, when it's always someone else's fault, maybe there's stuff going on with you that you need to self-reflect on and be better. That's all.
Yeah, and it's just most high achievers, in sports and other industries, they have certain mindsets, and his is nothing that displays that kind of mindset. So I'd say get him I was actually a fan of the pick. I was stoked.
So I was
I'm done. I'm over. Let's move on.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. You're not squeezing anything out of him next year.
Nope.
So it's time.
Fuckers cost me hundreds of dollars this year.
I doubt even if we go to the playoffs, I bet he doesn't travel with the team.
How confident are you guys go to the playoffs? How confident are you that Miami loses and
not at all?
Oh no. I have no faith in any of that, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wait and see,
but we did it to ourselves. That's been my place with all this. Is like, hey, we lost too many close games, and it was in so many phases, right? Kicking, defense, the offense could have put games away that they didn't, and that's how I felt tonight was about to go. Was a little bit on the offense, not cashing in the red zone and putting you guys away, Tyler.
I think that I've become okay if tonight was our last game because fuck the Steelers, and also fuck your Venmo, Tyler Kelly. It's empty tonight, ain't it, bitch?
I gotta send it to you. I kept it in there just in
because
case.
the record evens it out.
Well, I gotta send the $100 back to you.
But you've been making a lot of money off Chop, to be fair, the last 2 years.
You guys got the highest record, so just keep it. I mean, unless we go to the playoffs, then I guess does it count if we go to the playoffs and you guys go out in the first round when we win the Super Bowl?
I mean, yeah, if you guys go further than we do. So I guess we'll wait till tomorrow and see what happens.
Let it ride then, because I don't want to send it back.
We have claimed ourselves as the regular season Super Bowl champions.
We did it.
Playoffs.
I will say today really hurt because I'd much rather go to Houston and play that team than to play Baltimore again.
I'll bet.
I agree.
That's why
I agree.
TJ was
That's
so
what
pissed.
people were saying. They might rest their starters. We were doing our previous show Friday. Well, because Baltimore were already clinched the division. Who gives a shit? I would still rather go and play Houston. CJ has not been good. I'm a Buckeye homer. Everybody knows that. CJ Stroud has not been very good this year. The receivers, Tank Dell's out, It's not been good. there. That is an atrocious O line.
What about our sloppy seconds, Joe Mixon? Come on now.
Can I play devil's advocate about them who the Steelers are playing?
What?
I think it's better to probably play a divisional opponent in the first round because you know them really well. And most of the margins of victory in divisional contests are really, really tight. You know,
I would normally agree if
record against the Steelers not very good over the years.
I mean, the entire North, in all honesty, against the Steelers aren't very good. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers last couple, like 5 years, have been pretty dominant in the North. The problem is like this Ravens team to me compared to other years feels so much different. Like their offense is so high powered. It
You
reminds
shut them
me
down
of
the first game of the season though that you guys played, right?
yeah, but then we got absolute mauled the second game.
I mean, whose offense is better, them or the Bills?
I think Ravens are. This Ravens team reminds me of the Bengals in a sense of you guys have so many weapons that it's so hard to try to shut down that entire offense. You know what I mean?
Well, Zay Flowers may not play. Yeah.
Zay Flowers banged his knee up.
But even if he doesn't play, you still have Lamar Jackson in his running game. You obviously have Derrick Henry and how good he is. You have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, who have been really good this year as tight end weapons.
I'm glad we're on here trying to hype up Tyler Kelly's Steelers for Tyler.
I'm just looking at that. I don't give a shit. I hope both the teams, you know.
Statistically, we favor playing the Ravens because they haven't done very good against us the last couple of years. But I just feel more comfortable playing that Houston team than I do.
Well, it wouldn't matter. Y'all are fucking out anyway after one game. The way you've been playing, to be honest.
Yeah, you guys.
That also scares me.
Yeah,
like,
that part. The way you've played down the stretch has been just bad.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Tyler. You guys are consistent every year, but you got to be to the point where it's like this, like one and none in the playoffs. This got to be getting old and very frustrating. Right?
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. So
because your fucking coach sucks.
Well, last year he wanted to fire Tomlin. No, last year you wanted to fire Tomlin. You were on
I did, but I think
we were having to tell you were wrong, and now you're on board with us. You're right.
I admit I'm wrong. I think he's turned the team around dramatically compared to last year. What sucks as being a Steelers fan is knowing that our down year is making the playoffs and losing immediately every fucking first round. That's what sucks being us, is we don't have a top 10 talent pick. Our last top 10 pick was 2000, before I was even born. It's like it just sucks. Like we can't ever truly rebuild, and
you really do have to tank in the NFL.
I mean, it's horrible because like we're competitive every year, but we're never good enough. You know what I mean? Because we don't have that talent unless we
need a quarterback. You need a quarterback.
This year we won't get one. I think this year's quarterback draft class is pretty weak, and I think we need a receiver way more than a quarterback currently. I'm hoping we drop Wilson. I don't think he's obviously our future, and I'm hoping we re-sign Fields. I like Fields a lot. I like his stealing for us. I think
sign Fields for what though? He's going to want a good contract. I mean, his rookie contract is up this year, right?
How did they not put him on the field today?
I don't know. So
at all.
So my friend who's also a Steelers fan, we argue about this all the time. A lot of our drives, I feel like Fields would have extended on his legs alone. You know what I mean?
Or at least it's like something you do for a series.
I like him a lot. I like his ceiling for us, and to me it keeps defenses honest. Like it's like the Lamar Jackson effect, right? Like when Russell Wilson drop backs and pass, you aren't really scared of him scrambling and running for 50. You know what I mean? Like you're just not terrified of that. Lamar Jackson, you're always worried if he gets away and he can scramble for 50. Justin Fields has that effect to me where linebackers and backs are always worried if he runs because Fields can run. Even in the RPO game, you're not scared of RPO of Wilson keeping it like you are with Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean?
That was the plan when you guys brought Fields in for this year because it was going to be like a redshirt year, but you're going to use them in packages. We haven't
used them at all.
He hasn't seen the field since probably the last time they played the Bengals.
Yeah.
We had that 4th and 1.
Closed it out.
And like what sucks for him is he started 4-1 as a starter. It wasn't like he was doing bad. Like we were winning games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. I hope we keep him. I mean, same with Najee. I don't know what we're doing with Najee either. I think he's an elite running back. We didn't pick his 5th-year option.
I think he's gone.
I think he's
not elite. He's very good against the Bengals.
He's very good, period. He's the only rusher since 2012 to have 1,000 yards his first 4 years in the league.
Yeah,
He's
that's
the only
actually
one.
hard number.
And
That's
you gotta
actually
mind
hard
you, like
number.
last year, for example, so if you want to know about stats, he was hit behind the line of scrimmage 75% of the time. He averages more yards after contact than Warren averages before contact.
All right, maybe I got to take he is a first round pick cap off.
Najee Harris is a monster. He just gets no love. He gets no love.
But if I'm
But
taking
it's
running back in
'cause-
the first round, you got to be so good.
I mean, I agree. I think he wasn't a bust for us. I like him a lot. I love him, actually. The problem is for a lot of
You
fans.
also love Kenny Pickett.
And Kenny Pickett's been playing great. He's been playing great in fucking Philadelphia. He's not played bad at all. Stop
Franchise.
You know who I thought he was going to give you guys more this year is Jalen Warren. He hasn't really done much either, has he?
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of an injury bug. I think they're a great 1-2 combo. I really do.
That's what I'm saying. If Najee, you need more explosion out of the backfield as much as you guys like to run. So I think Najee with a compliment.
Yeah,
Jalen can stay healthy, but
the thing with Najee is like, and a lot of people don't like, and this is kind of the way I think football's gone in the.
I'll be right back, but after Tyler finishes talking, someone kick it to the other Tyler Santori, and then Dustin.
What I was saying is, I think that the way the football has kind of gone towards this path is everyone wants flashy plays, right? And Najee Harris isn't a flashy runner. You know what I mean? He's going to grind out 3, 4, 5 yards for you, which is really all you need in a running back, in all honesty. You don't need to break for 30 yards every fucking run. No. So I like him a lot. A lot of fans don't. I don't get why he gets hated on. I really don't. He's a hard worker, great work ethic. He does what he's asked to do. I think him and Warren complement each other. I hope we pick him up. I really do. Because our first round draft pick this year, if it's anything other than a receiver, I'm pissed off. Whatever draft pick we get, I hope it's a receiver.
What am I supposed to talk on?
I'm not sure. I didn't hear all what Dale said.
Yeah, you
definitely said toss it to Tyler.
He said toss it to me, and I don't know what I'm catching.
Well, it's tossed to you, so fucking do it. Just do it, man. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Go team, go.
Yeah, and so your thoughts on that, Dustin? Go ahead.
It's just weird that this might be the last time we watch the Bengals play this year. You know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm okay with it. Whatever happens tomorrow, I think I'm okay with it. I'm not going to lie. I guess I'll be a little disappointed if the Jets don't win and the Chiefs don't win. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean obviously the team did everything they could do. They won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And like Joe said, it's their fault. They put themselves in this position. Like when Joe was like, well, I think if we win out, we can lose 1. And then they lost 2. And he was right. The math was fucking right. All they had to do was win 1 other game, and we would have been in the playoffs right now.
Maybe this was a year, though, that like we almost needed to have to paint a picture for our front office and others in the organization.
Dustin, this team, this ownership's been going through bullshit like this. It's the ownership, and we've had shit like this happen before, and then they roll out and do the same goddamn thing to us.
Yeah.
I wish you're right, and I wish that these grandkids, like Elizabeth and that, starts talking to Grandpa and being like, Grandpa, come on, Grandpa, spend the money, make a good team, and do what you're supposed to do, and let's have a winning season for you before you fucking die because you're 127 years old.
I mean, you had to lose this year, right? Because next year's your destiny year.
Well, no, it was this year, Kelly. Thanks.
Oh, is it this year?
Yeah. It ain't over, man. We got a chance.
All right, Santori.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm here.
You tired?
I'm sleepy.
Sleepy.
Anything else? And then we'll let you out here and go.
That fucking barn is beautiful, dude, man. That screen is so big, my neck hurts from watching the plays. Like Joe throws a pass, you got to go from here to here, back. It's huge.
We got sing Santoria a good night song.
Can you sing me Renegade?
Yeah, I saw you guys played that in your locker room.
That's good.
Fuck you guys.
I mean, you guys did the whole We Day thing like 15, 20 years ago, so you can Renegade one time.
Yeah.
It was a half a Renegade tonight. I didn't feel the same oomph to it.
It almost worked. It almost
When did
worked.
when was it that T went out of the game? I didn't even notice when he got hurt.
I didn't either. I guess it was
It
at
was
halftime.
around the
or
start of
whatever.
the fourth quarter. Last
Oh,
Was
was
it
it?
really?
last
Oh.
two drives.
But
I
he's
don't know
just
what the
been,
fuck,
he's
like-
been hurt. He's been hurt. He said he had a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
When we
He's
had that
playing
first
through that.
drive, though, man, I thought, oh, they're fucked. Like, it was like a fucking machine just like traveling down the field. But then, and even the second drive, we got that field goal, and I'm still like, this fucking team's got it, man. They're on fire, despite the Jamar Chase dropping the end zone. And then it just kind of like fucking fizzled out. I thought Joe made some bad passes, and I thought that there were some bad attempts at catches.
Gasecki should have set down the end zone, but
Yeah.
All right, Dusty. Also, haven't got anything from Dusty in forever. I feel like. What's up, Dusty?
What's up, dude? No, I'm just listening, man. It's a weird feeling that the season could be over tomorrow. It's good that we went on a little hot streak. But I just don't want the front office to forget how bad they were early
We already
on.
forgot.
Like exactly.
I already forgot, Dusty.
That right there just makes me.
It's sad.
Yeah, it makes me a little irritated because there's deficiencies on this team that need to be addressed, can be addressed. We talked about earlier with like the money situation, how much we've left in the bank, and you have a guy like Mekhi Becton that we brought in, didn't sign, he goes off, and he's he's a top level guard, like he's probably a top 10, top 12 guard per like PFF. He's at least an average starting guard. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I just want to see this team go all in. Like, you've seen the Rams do it. The Rams went all in. And then you have Detroit. Detroit copied everything we did almost. They copied with the opposite of, like, Penny, what's that dude's name? Penny Sewell or Sewell.
Yeah.
Or
Penny Sewell.
Suel.
Yeah. Penny Sewell. So that was the Jamar and all that debacle. But they still kind of copied our scheme in, but they kept bringing in pieces. That's what I would love for the Bengals to do, is keep adding to their team, keep pulling in pieces, and not just like, oh, we're good enough now. Like, okay, we can make this work. We got our savior. We got Joe Burrow. We got Jamar. Like, they'll figure it out. Like, if you said at the beginning of the year, that's nice.
Cincinnati savior.
If you said at the beginning of the year, you have Jamar Chase, Triple Crown, Joe Burrow, MVP, best year yet.
Trey Hendrickson, sack leader.
Trey
Defensive player of the year.
Should be defensive player of the year. Like, you have all these pieces, and then to be, we might make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
like,
right.
maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's surreal. It's crazy. It's such a Bengals like feeling right now.
I know.
I'm glad we went out on a hot streak. And I really hope the Bengals can fix their deficiencies, and also like guard play, like Alex Kappa. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Cordell Volson.
Old. He's just sometimes you're done. You fall off a cliff. You're done.
And then, like you talked about earlier, we all kind of talked about Frank Pollock. There's a certain point, like either you're in to win it or you're in to not hurt feelings. It's to the point feelings are going to get hurt. People didn't do their jobs. You're done. It's over with. We need to move on. But if we squeak into the playoffs and win and get a playoff win or two, hey, like, you still have to make those tough decisions. In my opinion,
we get in. We're winning the Super Bowl. It's our best year if we get in.
Whether we get in or not,
you can't forget.
Don't feel like lose going anywhere.
We need a kicker competition next year.
Yes, I say with our last pick, draft a kicker.
We need kicker competition.
All right, Dustin. Any final thoughts? Because I want to start getting people out here. It is after 2 a.m. This is crazy. So, Dusty. Any final thoughts? I know the Dusty and the Dustin.
No, it was just a good good football conversation. We talked about a lot. I mean, good to end on a 5-game win streak. I mean, always love watching ball, chatting ball with you fellas. So appreciate you. Who day?
Who day?
Who day, brother? Dusty, anything?
Now final thoughts.
No, I think I said all my final thoughts. Like
All right.
that's mine right there.
I'll let you out of here, brother. Love you.
Love you,
Follow
Dusty.
Bengals Army. Check out Bengals Army. Follow Dusty.
All right, good talk. See you, fellas. Thanks.
Yeah, who they?
Who they?
Not the fucking Steelers, Tyler Kelly. Not this
Hey,
time.
we'll see you in Cancun. Doesn't matter.
We'll be seeing each other
Yeah,
soon.
they'll
You're
all
right.
be there at the same time.
No,
We'll
I
save
think
you a
I think
seat
we have
for
a
a
run
week
this
from
year.
now.
I think we have a run this year. I really do.
You're fucking crazy.
I still like our defense is elite. I still have confidence. The thing is, our offense doesn't have to be Bengals and put up 40 points. We just got to do enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
We just got to do enough. Our
I just
defense
hope
keeps us
that
in games.
Next week, you guys just beat the fuck out of each other.
Why?
Why
I mean,
not?
that just make for good football watch. Nobody gets hurt, but just like a big physical fucking beat the fuck out of each other.
I mean, that's AFC North football. So, I mean,
yeah, I would like to see a lot of that.
that's what's going to happen.
Like
But-
maybe a sprained ankle or so, but that's it. But like a low sprain, so it's not high sprain, so it heals fast and they can still work it.
The only part of me that doesn't want to win is the side of me that wants Wilson gone. And I feel like if somehow he wins the Super Bowl this year by some miracle, we end up signing him.
Do you think that Mike Tomlin let Russell Wilson fuck his wife?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that happened.
I'd give him a 5-year extension to fuck Ciara. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm fading in and out of this conversation, and that caught my full attention.
I don't think that.
My name's Tyrone. I'm here to fuck your wife.
Yeah.
That was funny. I don't care who you are. That was funny.
I think my only issue with Mike Tomlin is he's too much of a player guy. And I think sometimes he's too scared to say no.
You
what
know,
mean?
I think less of him after I watch him on Hard Knocks. Is
Really?
that weird?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. The way he does his meetings and stuff, I don't know.
I haven't watched any of it. I can't watch any of the Hard Knocks just because we've not been good enough.
It's actually a good show, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of
even though we're
insider
and you know what? They don't have any of our losses in it because it starts about when we went on the win streak.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so it's all good.
Maybe I can't
There you go. There's no losses.
It's just cool, like, to see the inside stuff. But, like, I don't think Wilson should have started. I know he was promised to be a starter when he came to Steelers, but I think Fields looked great. Wilson should have never started.
I told you he should have never started. It should have been Fields the entire time.
I agree. And
unless Fields fucked himself out of the job.
Oh, hold
Like
on,
you
hold
said, he
on.
was
I feel like
4-1.
Tyler still got another 10 minutes in him.
Who, me?
But Santori is falling asleep.
I'm wide awake. I got you.
Wide
What do you
awake
want?
because of Russell Wilson fucking Tomlin's wife.
I am very well aware of my surroundings. I got you.
No, I'm saying like I want you to plug your stuff, talk about anything else this game, and we'll
If
let
you're gonna
you go.
plug your stuff, turn your camera on. I want to watch that.
I don't want to
Yeah.
plug stuff.
No, we finally were able to get back to rally around the Natty today. We did a pregame show and a show in general for the first time in what seemed like 2 or 3 months. It was nice. And we're hoping to get back into a more consistent run of getting content out as soon as the season ended, unfortunately. But baseball's coming around the corner. It is year round, so the barn's almost done. Chop saw it today, and
No toilet.
we're still putting the toilet in. He had to go
No
across
toilet.
the
They had to
street
remove.
fix
There
the
was a
shit.
toilet when I saw it the first time, but they had to remove the toilet.
You had
We
to
removed
poop?
the toilet.
You had
I
to
had to
poop?
pee.
Okay, well, he had to go across the street to pee.
I did have to go across the street to pee. It's very dark out there too.
Yeah, there's no lights in Batavia. I'll
There's
tell you
no
that.
lights in Batavia. It's against the law to have a light on, I think.
Yeah. But no, it's the show's coming back. It was nice to get everything out there today.
I love you, Tyler. I mean Santori.
Yeah,
I love you too.
Don't
I
be
use
using his government name.
I love
his
all of
government
us.
name.
Yeah, my government name.
No, I hate you too, actually. No, it's a Santori thing. I hate you too, Santori.
Yeah,
Chop, tell everybody about the pizza you had tonight.
I had grandma's pizza. It was
It's
very
great.
tasty.
It's Gramus. It's not grandma.
I'm gonna have some more of it when we're done here, because I'm gonna put some in the goddamn air fryer and warm it back up. See, it's a good thing I gave you that money. Fucking Kim gave me the whole goddamn pizza to bring home.
Worked out well.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Crip loves you too. All right, Santori, get you some sleep, brother. You're the best, man.
Oh,
See, I said too much. I kicked him out now.
Oh. Well, he's still in the background, so I love you, buddy.
I left him in the background just in case we want
Not
to
you,
say
Tyler
anything.
Kelly. I don't fucking love you.
Yeah, no one likes that motherfucker, Tyler
Yeah.
Kelly. I actually
That's
really
fucker.
fuck with Tyler Kelly. You send him that link, he shows up after his Steelers lost. His team is in the playoffs. Ours is probably not.
Probably not, but maybe Dale. I think Dale Santori worked out the math, and I think it's like 30. Here we go. Elite fucking comment. #hookers.
#hookers.
I
Yeah.
had confidence for you guys if Chiefs were on a 15-day like bye week if they don't play their starters.
No, they're going to be 24 days without
27.
Or
I think it's
27.
27
Okay,
days.
yeah.
Like,
So I
why
know
are they doing this? It's
I
kind of
don't know.
crazy. It's a little crazy for them.
I know Mahomes probably won't play because I know he's really hurt right now. I think he's doubtful to even play tomorrow if they were to play tomorrow. But I think
all
they play
their starters are doubtful. They're not playing any of them.
That'd be insane if they don't. That's a long time with no football.
God,
what's gonna
if it ain't
happen.
us, I don't even know who in the fuck I'd want from the AFC. Probably
If we don't win, I'm rooting for the Lions. I'm a big Dan Campbell guy.
AFC. I was saying AFC.
Yeah, I'm Bills. Bills in the AFC,
That's what I
Lions
would
in the
do is
NFC. My
Bills.
shit hasn't changed for the playoffs. Like,
You said Bills and who? Lions?
yeah, the Portsmouth Spartans.
Well, you know I'm fucking going with my boy, man. Jaden.
Yeah, that's true.
I
will
want
fuck-
I want Bills and fucking Commanders.
And I want to watch Johnny Newton ball out at deep
Can you
tackle.
imagine
because
fucking Jaden
people are
Daniels
sleeping
going
on
to
him
the
still,
Super
like,
Bowl his fucking rookie year?
He's mid.
I told you about that fucking guy.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin says all we need to make the playoffs is the refs. But he also don't see the Jets realistically beating the Dolphins. The
I
Jets
gotta
are
tell
pure
you,
ass
and
right now.
yeah, let me just say something. I've said on here before how I thought Jaden Daniels could turn out even better than Joe Burrow. I don't think that anymore. The way that Joe Burrow stands up
That's why I was like,
and fucking dissects, he just looks and sees what's coming and just dissects that shit, man. This dude,
He's a robot. He's a robot.
yeah, he can't. I'm telling you, like, it's not a bias thing. It's like, I'm glad we got him because he is the best fucking quarterback in the league right now.
well, most quarterbacks would have done folded and given up with his injuries and with
Can
his
you
O-line
imagine if
play.
he could run
like those
Lamar
things
or
alone.
Jaden Daniels? Could you imagine if Joe Burrow also had the legs of Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, but that's
not his game, but I'm just saying.
But then your game is never the same because you always know you have that, so you're always looking to do that.
Every year, this kid gets better, though.
Just
Every
different.
year, he just finds a next level. I don't understand it, man. This guy he's the fucking like a football savant.
Well, with the wrist, they said he'd never be the same.
Well, they were fucking right, weren't they?
Yes, because they somehow was what is that? The $1 million man? The
I'm
$6
telling you,
million
like I
man?
had that shirt for a while.
Rebuilt. Yeah.
They're putting the bionic parts in him.
It just sucks for him that like Saquon Barkley and Lamar had such a crazy year. Otherwise, he'd be
Josh Allen too.
Josh Allen doesn't really do.
I
yeah.
think that
Josh
MVP
Allen should. I think
he's going to
MVP.
get it.
So I don't know. I think Saquon should get it, but
Well, he won't because he's not a quarterback.
I know he's a running back. I think he should get it. I think Lamar probably end up getting it in all honesty, but I think it should be
I think
Saquon.
Lamar will get it, but I think there's an argument to be made that Derrick Henry helps Lamar as much as Lamar helps
also
Derrick
say
Henry.
that like Lamar Jackson ain't Lamar Jackson this year without Derrick Henry. He was
But Josh Allen, I go back to Josh Allen once again.
Josh Allen's going to get it.
I'm a fringe like Bills liker for Glenn Goodberry,
Right.
number one. I just like Glenn.
I mean, it's in the picture. If you
But also-
move your arm, isn't there a Bills thing back there from Glenn?
Yeah, I got a hat. I got a hat somewhere. I don't
There
know.
was back there. Anyway, fuck him.
Oh yeah, the thing is not there.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing about Josh Allen is, isn't he playing with like a broken wrist or some shit all year long or something like that?
That was Joe Burrow. That's the GOAT, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's the
No,
goat,
it
man.
was Josh Allen. He got hurt in the Cardinals game, the beginning of the year, and he's been hurt
Maybe
all year long. with it.
My argument for him is the lack of receivers, right?
Who's
Yeah.
that? Josh
Josh
Allen?
Allen, yeah. He doesn't really have any weapons for him.
Yeah.
Like he's got weapons.
But he did
Everybody
it.
has weapons, but he don't
did
have
it.
elite weapons.
That's what
That
when
wide
they were
receiver.
playing the other day. Somebody was saying, one of the sportscasters on the television were saying that like he's got the worst team that he's played with, and he's doing the best right now. Like Josh Allen, like literally, this is the worst team he's played on, and they're doing the best.
He's balling out. I'll give him that. I think Lamar will get it. But my personal opinion, Saquon should get it. That man's playing lights out this year. Ninth all-time history to break whatever it was the record was. He's been playing lights out.
Well, you know what? How many Triple Crowns have there been in the NFL? If you want to talk about somebody's playing fucking lights out, how many Triple Crowns has there been in the entire history of the NFL?
Well, they showed it, right? It's like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to, it's easier, and I saw a statistic the other day said it's easier for a running back to get 2,000 yards than a receiver to get fucking Triple Crown.
The Triple Crown is hard, but like
way fucking easier.
Jamar can't win it because Cooper Kupp didn't. You know what I mean? Because Cooper Kupp was also a Triple Crown.
That doesn't mean Jamar can't win it. It's just the way the vote. I mean, he's not going to. I think I'll tell you the truth. I think Jamar's going to get offensive player of the year over Saquon.
I mean both cases are made. Jamar's been playing lights out too. Like I said, I'm still pissed.
I think that Jamar's getting offensive player of the year. I think that Trey's going to get slighted somehow, but I think he should get defensive player of the year.
Well, the defensive argument against Trey is always against the run. I think he's played just fine against the run. I mean, I'm sure I could go to PFF.
I mean, who else would be brought up in the conversation for the defensive player of the year this year?
The same people.
I know, but
Watt
he just,
and Myles Garrett.
He just put 3.5 sacks over top of Myles Garrett.
And then somebody said Patrick Surtain. Well, I kind of think he kind of lost that against the Bengals. I mean, I know the other dude got roasted, Riley Moss, but Patrick Surtain, like, he would have even got burnt a little more had Joe made a couple more accurate throws against him. And listen, I think Patrick Surtain the second is fantastic, but there ain't no way I'm giving him the defensive player of the year.
No, I think Jamar Chase gets offensive player of the year. I think Joe Burrow once again is going to get the comeback player of the year again.
As of 5 days ago, as of December 31st, TJ Watt is currently the Vegas favorite at -121. And Patrick Surtain is second at plus odds.
Yeah, and you are a Steelers fan. Would you give it to TJ Watt this season
over Trey?
Over Trey?
Probably not, but I think it's close. The thing with TJ Watt is like, you got to look at more advanced metrics, right? So like PFF, I think openly admitted that he should have won last year because he is chip blocked, which they don't consider a double team. Almost 40% of the snaps he gets, right? So a tight end or a running back is hitting him almost half the time he takes a snap, which in my eyes is a double team. You know what I mean? They don't consider it a double team.
Well, I got a kind of argument waiting on why he shouldn't be, but continue.
But I do think Trey has had a better season this year compared to TJ Watt. So I do think Trey should get it, but I think it's a lot closer than people think. But I will tell you, the only two people who should get it is TJ Watt or Trey Hendrickson.
That's fair.
Those are my only two options. Myles Garrett should be in the conversation.
Well, and the only reason I think that I would put TJ Watt, I know everything you just said, very relevant, very true. TJ Watt should have won it last year. And it would be like, we'll give it to you this year because we should have gave it to you last year.
That could be the case, yeah.
But I will say this, for what TJ Watt has as a supporting cast, to compare it to what Trey Hendrickson has as a supporting cast.
I agree. That's why I think Trey should get this year because I think I saw a statistic on the game that you guys as a team have 18.5 sacks and Trey is 16.5 of them.
It's more than that now, but there was one point in the season where it was literally like, and there was no one on our team that had more than 2 when Trey had like double digits.
Yeah.
It was just an insane number of percentage of sacks and things like that. And it's like, with the amount and how bad the defense was, it's gotten better, but still, Trey gets a lot of attention too. And teams that don't, I never understand why they don't. It's like, especially if it's third down, it should be chipping him.
Yeah.
But that is my counter argument, especially for him. It's the sack lead. Yes, that's an easy stat to just anybody could say. league leader in sacks, give him the award. But it's the amount of help for me would be the difference over TJ and even Myles Garrett, like Zadarius Smith. That one kid's been very good. Isaiah McGuire, their interior D tackles has been very good.
Yeah, I know Hall just got hurt. The rookie.
Their secondaries, Brown's secondary, but they ain't won shit. You talk about, well, your team hasn't won that much. There's no way we have 9 wins without Trey Henderson.
See, but that's why I also think Watt has a chance of getting it, because the Steelers without Watt are like 1-5 or something like that. We don't win games when Watt's not on the field. We lose. Watt wins us games.
That's fair. That is a fair counterpoint. But I will say, I think you have better all up front. Even like your rotational guys are better on the D line. Like you got dogs, man, everywhere. Highsmith, Keanu Bitton, who shocked me he got his first sack tonight, but Cam Hayward, who's an all-pro player all day, every day.
Nick Herberg has been electric for us. Loudermilk's hurt, but he's been really good for us. I will agree our front seven's a lot better. That's why I do think this year.
So much better. Your rotational guys.
I do think this year Trey should win it. You guys probably won't, because even though they don't admit it, I think the voting committee takes an effect about who makes the playoffs and who doesn't.
Hey, why does Cam Hayward's helmet look like it's not the right size? Like his head's just like squeezed in. It looks like it's just painted.
It's Ironhead's son.
I don't know.
His dad's name was Ironhead Hayward.
I'm just saying, like his helmet doesn't even look like there's any protection. It's like right up against his head.
I don't know. When I see him tomorrow, I'll ask him for you.
Yeah.
I have no idea. He's a dog.
And also, you got a Cincy tattoo for anyone who doesn't know this.
I do.
A tramp stamp Cincy tattoo because Ted Harris got more online votes. And then in the sweetest, most poetic justice, if Ted Harris isn't going to win it, me being a Buckeye fan, and what Cam Hayward has done for community and everything else as a human being, 100% deserved the award and won it last year. So it was like one of those things that was just like, it was so, I thought that was great all around.
Yeah, I did not think it was great when I was getting the tattoo. But
oh, come on now.
No, it's funny. I like it. I think it's a great story. I do love it.
You have a Cincy tramp stamp.
I think it's great. I do love it. Some people don't. My mom does not like it, but I love it.
Why's your mom looking at your tramp stamp?
I showed her when I got it. She was not a fan.
You were like, "Look, Mom."
Yeah, she was not a fan, but it's a cool story. I like it. I'm not.
It is.
I don't regret it at all,
man. No, I think that was so fantastic, and I'm just a
Isn't
little
your
disappointed.
stepdad a Bengals fan though?
He's a diehard Bengals fan.
Yeah,
Does
so
he
he
like
probably
it?
loves your tramp stamp.
He thought it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a Bengals fan for a long time.
That is perfect. All right, man. I'm gonna end this one almost 3 damn hours in after a post-game show at almost 2:30 in the morning as we're ending this for the podcast listeners. Wow, what a show, man. What a season. And I will only say this one time. I hope the Steelers go out there and beat the dog piss out of the Ravens just because of Tyler Kelly, because he's that cool of a dude. I really fuck with this guy. Tyler motherfucking Kelly is my guy.
I appreciate it. I hope we do too, but we'll see. Lamar scares me, but
I'm undecided.
You got to root for me because we're in there. So
yeah, I don't think you have a chance in hell.
I don't know if I can.
But
That's
I hope
the
you
most
win.
hated team. I don't know. I don't know if I can.
You don't really hate the team though. You might
Also,
strongly
if-
dislike them.
If we're not
No,
in,
I
like,
fucking hate them.
good chance we're not in, Chop.
Listen
I am
to
going to
me.
be rooting for upsets, and the Steelers over the Ravens would be a huge upset. I am rooting for that. Give me
Hell,
chaos, baby. Give me
There's
chaos.
only one thing on this planet that I hate more than the Steelers, and you know who it is.
I know who it is.
Yeah, you know who it is. Tell Dale. Dale knows who it is. Who
I
the
don't.
fuck do I hate?
I couldn't tell you in all honesty.
Man, God damn it.
Who is it?
Still that motherfucker Roman Suter.
I was about to say it.
Oh, Roman.
Say that.
Fucking Roman.
Fuck you, Roman Suter.
And the goddamn Steelers run a very close second. It's fucking Roman
no.
Suter and then the Steelers.
Yeah,
fucking
the only
hate 'em.
reason, the only reason that I wouldn't want you guys to win, Tyler, over the Ravens, is because of the KC Swifts. Because I don't think you guys have a snowball's chance in hell of like giving the Chiefs a good game if you match up with them in the second round?
I don't know because I know that weather record. They're like what, like 1 or 2 losses. I don't know.
One.
They do not,
It'll be 2 after tomorrow to knock us out of the playoffs. Trust me.
They do not look good this year. Like their record does not show. Like I think they look horrible this year.
But I can just see Mahomes throwing for 350 on your defense.
Probably, but
and everybody just going gook, 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 to fucking Patrick Mahomes because they're like, this is playoff Mahomes now.
Yeah, to me, just watching their games like this year, it just look really bad.
But
I know
also
it's
the Ravens defense is soft as fuck. But I honestly think the Texans and Chargers could give either of them a game, and see, you guys would be the lower seed that would get the Chiefs instead of the Texans Chargers if the Ravens lose. That's my argument. Because I think you get the Chiefs in their first round / the second round. I think that's when the Chargers
But if they sit their starters, you don't think you have a chance to beat them with 27 days of no football?
I mean, any team does sitting for 27 fucking
That's a
days.
long time of no football.
You guys are on such a bad streak, though, is my only thing.
But look at our streak.
Okay. So
the Eagles,
I mean,
Ravens,
if they make it to the Chiefs, then they beat the streak.
Yes, they beat the streak and they beat the Ravens. That's what I just was playing in my head, Chop. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. I would give you a chance in that one because you beat the Ravens. You beat Lamar. You beat Derrick Henry. And maybe you get on a roll.
Plus, like, I know we talk about
I'm
this.
trying to hype my guy up here. I'm trying to hype Tyler up. It could happen.
The devil's advocate is this losing streak we have. Look who we played. I mean, in a 11-day span, we played the Eagles, the Ravens, then the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like, this losing streak, yeah, we've been losing, but, like, it's not to bad teams.
You just got to okay, you're in the playoffs. You're playing the Ravens. Find a way to beat the Ravens. Start there. You beat the Ravens, I'll give you a chance against the Chiefs. We'll talk about it. Even with my Bengals out of the playoffs, we'll do a show. We'll have you on, and we'll talk about it. We'll have you on one of our shows and let you just tell us why they beat the Chiefs. And I am going to agree with you that it's going to happen.
Shit tickets right here. A terrible bow.
Terrible. All right, man. Tyler, you are really just a good, genuine, solid dude, man. I fuck with you for real.
I appreciate it.
Chop, you're all right.
Right. Thanks for coming on.
Chop's okay.
Thanks, Tyler.
I appreciate the invite. Yeah, yep.
See you, brother.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, Chop. No show Monday. Just want to reiterate that,
Yeah.
Could be a show tomorrow night, assuming my electric's not out. But I'm not planning for a show on Monday because this fucking, what is that? The
White
Ice
Death.
Cock of Doom.
The penis. The snow penis.
Well, no. As Foxy said, they're calling it, I'm just going to go Ice Cock of Doom.
Ice Cock-a-doom. It sounds like a chicken. Ice Cock-a-doom. Cock-a-cock-a-doom. Cock-a-cock-a-doom. 200 fucking.
Oh, I turned into a wolf.
221 people listening to me go, cock-a-cock-a-doom. The
No,
boner
all those people are
Megadon.
asleep. The boner Megadon.
Yeah. Boner Megadon.
Either way, it could be a foot of damn snow.
The dick storm. Hey,
The dick storm.
simple. The dick storm.
That is very simple and yet accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, brother. It's just like, it's probably going to be I don't want anybody to be worried about like, oh, my internet's out, my electric's out. Because that's what's going to happen here. And I don't want you guys to be worried about
also,
like doing a show.
People probably driving home real fast so they can get the show turned on.
Right. And I want people
we don't
to
want
be
them
safe.
to rush.
You're right.
Take your time in the traffic. We're not doing a show, so don't like get in there like gotta drive fucking really fast in this goddamn 2 foot of snow so I can get home and get there in time for Bengals and Bruce. Listen, don't do it. We're not gonna have a show on Monday. We're just relax. Take care of yourself. Make sure you get to Kroger. Buy plenty of milk, water, eggs, and cigarettes and stuff like that. Maybe a bottle of Mad Dog. The grape kind's pretty tasty.
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah. Mad Dog 2020. Get some of that. Maybe some of that fucking Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hard Mountain Dew. That's pretty good. Miller Lite. Boom. There you go. Right? Yeah. Maybe before the storm, you should run up to Midwest Best and stock up on a whole fuck ton of like barbecue.
Ooh, that's actually smart.
Get snowed in with barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like barbecue chicken. Oh, it's cold now. Oh, because
Yeah. Oh no, I'm
who gives a
stuck
shit?
here.
It's still barbecue
I'm stuck
fucking
here
chicken.
eating
That's
fucking
good.
barbecue. It's terrible to be stuck inside. Yeah. Right.
You're right. And then like when
Creamery,
your
they got
electric
ice cream,
comes
too.
back on, comes back on, and you're like, man, I just need to buy something off the internet because my internet was out for 2 days.
Because
My
you've been
electric was
missing the
out for 2
internet.
days. You go to the Chop Shop 513
Yeah, that's right.
and you go and buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, you can buy a T-shirt there. I have them for sale.
And when we don't make the playoffs, you can ultimately blame this fucking clown,
That one.
Mr. Mike Brown and family.
Right. It's one of my greatest creations.
It's pretty good.
I know. That fucking, the red hair, so good.
But I really, really do appreciate everybody that tunes in. And hey, I'm just glad we won. I'm glad I get to watch the greatness that's been this season with Trey, Joe, Jamar, T. Higgins. I hope this is not his last game as a Bengal. I don't think it will be, to be honest. I don't think it will be. Regardless of getting in the playoffs. But if somehow we get in the playoffs and the internet's not out, both games are 4:25. We need the Jets to beat the
There'll be a
Dolphins.
show tomorrow night, huh?
There will be a show tomorrow night. Why the white dong of death is coming down on us all.
Snow dong.
Snow dong.
Snow donger. Yeah. Snow dongers passing
I
through.
mean, what's that one movie with the sharks and Sharknado?
Sharknado, the dongnator.
Snow
What?
dong. Snow dong sounds like a
Donginator.
It's just like
the donginator of death.
Because then it's like here's a foot of snow and here's another foot of dong. Boom.
The white dong death dong.
Yeah.
The white death dong. It's coming. Coming. The white stuff's going to be everywhere.
It's coming.
Wait till that white death dong gets here.
Coming.
It's coming. The white shit's going to be everywhere.
It will end up being a movie. You're right.
And that's your weather report brought to you by Midwest Best Barbecue and the Chop Shop.
Chop Shop 513.
Yes.
.myshopify.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
True.
Port Chop is the mayor of Port Chopolis.
Fact.
It never snows in the town of Port Chopolis.
Fact.
Because it's just a good time all the time, baby.
Fact. Because when it's not and the wife gets all pissy, I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait. She's sleeping. I'm like, bitch, you better just make sure you keep your cool.
But you said that. Like you called her a bitch. You said that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
We made it over 3 hours on this post-game show. I don't even know what life is anymore.
Fun.
But I was about to say, but I know it's a good thing.
Yep.
And find your people. I found mine. Brew Crew, Pork Chop, best man I know. Not 20-year-old Pork Chop. He was probably selfish.
No, I wasn't, man. I was I was a good time back
Well,
then.
I meant like a selfish lover, like you were just getting.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a giver.
All right. Okay.
I am.
Well, he's the best man I know right now either way.
Oh, thanks.
Whatever he was at 20, I didn't know him at 20. That's my
Yeah.
dude.
Right.
I'll get some sleep. Listen, to be fair, I took an hour nap before the game started.
Did you? I took before the game started, I took like a fucking 6-hour nap. But it's my way I sleep.
But I was literally like, I'm going to take an hour nap. That way, when the Bengals win, probably going to talk some people into doing a post-game show. And it happened. And it was a good time.
Crip's got fucking faith. He says he'll see us here tomorrow. Same fucking time. That's the faith.
Well, I hope not this.
I hope it does happen.
Our game,
man.
no, but our game was at 8:00. These games are at 4:25. So the same time, yeah, no, not this time. If we're still going at this time, something has gone seriously wrong.
We'll have a lot to say.
We will come on after the 425 games.
Crip, you have to come on.
If the two things that need to happen, we will be on here.
And Crip will be live too.
Do you have to work?
No.
Okay, we'll be on here then, 100% for sure. Confirmed.
Well, wait a minute. Yes or no? We're on either way.
No. Only if the two things that need to happen.
Okay. All right.
But if it don't,
and Kansas City win.
But if it don't happen, there's a 25% chance of snow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In our pants.
Facts.
It's sad snow.
Facts.
But if those two things happen, there's a 100% chance of snow in our pants.
Like
so,
this.
25% chance we'll be on here if we lose. 100% chance we'll be on here if we win. And that's another weather forecast.
Dale. Bong.
Boing.
Bong.
Boing.
Bong.
Boing.
Bong.
Boing. And this. You got to say bong.
Bong.
And boing. Update has been brought to you by Midwest Best Barbecue and the Chop Shop 513.
That's right.
MyShopify.com.
That's right.
Check it out. We
That's
love
right.
y'all. Y'all the best. We
You
want to get some sleep so we can be back on here
Take
tomorrow.
take a rest.
We're back. We're back. We're making the playoffs. Let's go. Love y'all.